Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third game of um, Protectors of the Light Anima. Today, you're having a look at the world map to see where your characters have been and where you are now. So just so you know, your characters come from the Dominion. This is the place where everybody in the Inquisition trains and stuff like this. And it took you a 6-month journey. Um, after maybe a bit less, just a 4-month journey after you learned of the crystal cross falling from the sky for you to make all of the travel that you've made in purple, and you've started heading back. So you're around here right now. That was when you had to stop and had to fight in the previous game. So I'm just gonna scale down your characters just a little bit.
We are giants.
Yes, your feet can destroy any of the cities.
Where is L?
It's Al.
Yeah, let's leave
Oh,
Al at
God.
that original scale, though.
Yeah. Where's
Um,
L though? Is she behind Al?
Wait. Oh, I believe I didn't copy her onto this page.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you want to make a notice roll, we'll find out.
Where is that? Wait. Thing is,
You fail your notice roll and all you hear is, "Oh my god, Shinderu." This is oh god.
Oh no.
But you feel angry eyes on you.
all the time.
Ah.
How long did you say it would take us to get there?
to get where? Where are you headed?
Oh, I thought we were heading. We came from the Albidian, from the Dominion, and got to here. This is where we're going. We're not going in the reverse direction now.
No, currently you might. Well, that is going to be up to you. But basically, at the moment, you have. Hold on one second. Yeah. At the moment, the mechanical flies are heading this way, and it's only 14 feet away.
I can do that in one turn.
Yeah. Yeah. The mechanical flies are heading in this direction, and you will. Yeah. So, after the battle, hold on one second. I'm just trying to. Oh yeah, wrong tool. Here we go. Here, Gabriella is here now, and she is also giant.
Hello, Gabriella.
Okay, so we had finished the fight the previous time, as you had started running a little bit after the mechanical flies until finally they ceased to be out of sight of you. They were flying upwards back into the clouds, and you're now unable to see them. You know that they're headed in the general direction of the east, but you don't know much more. As you head back towards your shelter from the rain, where you left all of your stuff, including Lucas's equipment, assessing your wounds, you feel a very weak. You all see a very weak psychic power that is moving towards you at a snail's pace, and it doesn't it's a psychic pattern which doesn't seem harmful. It looks very simple in its construction, and it's coming from one of the bodies of the three technocrits that you blew up earlier. This one only has like parts of his torso and of his face left. Everything else has been blown off by the explosion, and he is clearly dying. But and his body landed in the frozen river right here, and he's like on the edge of the frozen river. And yeah, you see him attempting to use some psychic power on you. It might just be a communication psychic power, or it might be something else. What do your characters do when you see the psychic power coming towards you?
Is there a roll to see what it is?
No, unfortunately, unless you are a psychic yourself, you can't evaluate what the psychic power is. I can generally describe if it because you all see the supernatural, if it is something that is pyrokinesis, cryokinesis. I can describe like if it looks aggressive or not, but I can't tell you exactly what the psychic power is unless one of you just lets it touch you.
All right, and it doesn't seem to be an attack, correct?
Yeah, it does not seem aggressive at all.
Okay, then I allow it.
Okay. Um, you you let this psychic power touch you, and it clings to your mind, and you hear a voice in your head, and it says, um, "Sorry, I, where am I? I wasn't in control. What do you do?" And this voice is very faint and coming from inside of your mind.
And it came from the body that is laying
Yeah,
over by the river, correct?
yeah, the torso and head that is like freezing in the water and very slowly like emptying itself of the remainder of its blood.
I'm gonna walk over to the body. I'm gonna say, "Is this your body decaying over here?"
Yes, but it wasn't mine for a long time. I there someone is trying to awaken the machine near the place where I was born, and he's taking over everyone and looking for new ways to awaken the machine. The crystal, it might work. The crystal he stole from you. I'm
And where were you born?
the island of Kirdan in the inner sea.
How do you spell that?
Kirdan.
Gotcha.
In case you were wondering, you guys are here, and the island of Kirdan is here. It's only 10 feet away.
Amazing. Let's go. Just walks like 8 steps across the
Al
river.
falls flat on his face and crushes the island of Kirdan.
I am bigger than the length.
Hey, Roy,
Hmm.
your nemesis has gone that way, and I point in the direction I saw him crawling last.
Hmm.
um,
Irrelevant for now.
by the way, I am
What
not
matters?
I'm not assuming that any of you, um, and that that anybody else is getting like is letting the psychic power affect them because you can all like protect yourselves from it by dodging or blocking. Um, um, but yeah, basically you're currently you like one of you has volunteered to test it out, and in case it turns out to be a mind control power, you're all ready to intervene.
Mm-hmm.
For all intents and purposes, Luca seems to be sleeping against that wall.
Okay. Yeah, you're. You're the one who engaged in telepathy with the technocrats.
No,
No. Okay.
Roy did.
Okay.
Luca's just over there. He wouldn't have defended if it came towards him. I figured it was just a single target.
No, basically yeah, but it could have affected like multiple of you.
Okay. Well, he would have been fine
So-
with it affecting him too.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you've both heard this information. So what do you do?
I'm gonna pull the body out of the what's it called?
The water?
Freezing like
Okay.
Out of the water.
All right. As you pull the body, you see parts of the lung that got stuck to a bit of the ice, and that like just because the blood has like grown very cold and icy, and yeah, part of his insides are just staying where they landed when you pull the rest of the body back. Um, in his mind, you hear, I think the implants that I have that are used to control me, I think they're damaged, not connected to the machine. Uh, they could be useful. I can use them to talk to you uh, if you need to inspect them or show them to someone. I don't have much longer. What do you do?
Would you like me to send you off? You have given me likely all that you can, and in the eyes of God shall you be possibly redeemed.
Thank you. Can I still go to heaven after serving this monster?
I'm not sure, and that is not for me to say. That is for God to deem you in his own right.
By the way, I need to specify you're literally a priest of the church. So technically, if when it comes to reassuring people about this, you can't
Well,
say
yes,
it
but
right now.
my character is a realist. Like, for him, he doesn't believe that man can say, "Oh, you're going to heaven. Oh, you're going to hell." That is only God's choice. Humans just say that.
Gotcha.
So he's honest about it, and he's honest about the religion, because nobody can really like realistically in the religion, nobody can really say, "Hey, you're going to go to heaven," and it's guaranteed.
Yeah. All right.
But
It's
you can, at the very least, given your position and the authority the church grants you in the name of God, grant absolution to him for his sins if he does confess them to you.
mm,
You can grant him absolution. So, in that sense, yes, if you are a realist, then that is the real way that the clergy actually works.
fair enough.
Although obviously God has the final veto power.
Yeah. Um.
But the more you
I
believe, the more you believe. So, people who truly believe can die with a clear conscience,
fair enough.
under the belief that it has been properly.
Am I the only one inside of Roll20 right now?
Same.
Oh,
Okay,
I
now
I can
you'll
see
be
you
joined.
guys again now.
That was weird. It was like a okay, I guess.
Yeah, you had disappeared for a second. Okay. So, what do you do?
I will ask him if he wants a confession, so that he may spill uh, his sins upon the Lord
Yes.
and possibly be forgiven.
Right. He tries to formulate thoughts, but you know that like he doesn't have much blood going up to his brain anymore, and you can tell that his heart is stopping. His last words are, "Forgive me, I have sinned. I have served the devil in human's clothing. I did everything that the count said. I came here and attacked servants of the Lord. Forgive me." And then you're still in psychic contact with him, feeling his last thoughts as he dies, and then the psychic power around your mind just ceases to work. You're holding his body, and you can feel there's something metallic on implanted into his spine that's coming out. That's not like moving, but then that's just protruding from his spine.
Gotcha.
When you look at it, it looks like a sort of mechanical bug, like a larva, a larva or a centipede that's basically like connected to his spine and brain, and it's mostly and it's not implanted like very deep. It does have like spikes inside of it, facing inwards. So what do you do?
I use my wires to cut it up.
Okay. Um, you yeah. Is it a precise weapon or not?
Um, no.
Okay. So you
I I have I don't think that I can ever add precise to it, sadly.
yeah, I don't think you can either, unless if there is a spell that I am not aware of that does this. I don't think it's possible.
That would be badass.
You could eventually get another artifact and make them precise, but I think that's the only way.
Yeah,
Oh, true. Can you upgrade an artifact? No, no, you can't. No, you can't.
no. Well, technically, it's possible to repair. It's possible to add things to artifacts, but those
Oh,
rules are a bit too complicated to get into today.
okay.
So
Well, yeah.
you're going to cut off like chunks of the body and the spine, and you're still going to have a little bit of flesh linked to the larva. But you have a larva of the machine that seems to be disconnected from the hive mind. Now, what? Yeah. What is Gabriella doing during this time?
Watching as as Roy is doing some sort of action on this thing, but watching that very suspiciously, trying to keep an eye on where that liar is who attacked us first, to see where he's going, if it looks like he's coming back or anything, and generally keeping an eye on Luca if he appears to be going back to sleep,
All right.
since it was my watch. So
He is very good at appearing to be sleeping.
Yeah.
I know all your sleeping moves.
No one can touch my sleep moves.
I don't believe High Inquisitor Damien is going to come back, but you can still make a notice check to see if you perceive any of him again during your watch. The rest of your watch is going to be quite calm.
Good. I don't imagine I get a night's. I do not get a night's healed rest. I get a night's not healed. I get a night's healing of not rest.
Yeah, you get the healing that you would get if you were resting.
If I was resting. Okay,
yeah.
That's better. I'm almost at positive hit points.
Okay, good.
By the way, question for my repairing of armor.
Yes. You can try
'cause
once. You can try once per day every time that you have a little bit of time to repair, which means you're able to repair much faster than people heal with your amount of skill.
Interesting. Okay.
Or if you want something else that we could do is we could use the medicine, the table for the medicine skill instead of what I've been using up until now, which I think would work a little bit better to represent this. I just need to check it real quick. Treatment of wounds. All right. Yeah, we should use this. I'm going to screenshot it and send it to you.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. Okay. So yeah, it's going to take you some time to do the it will take you some time to do the repairs, but usually like you're going to recover faster than everybody else. Jeff, have we done your characters? Do you know how fast your character recovers life points or not?
I do not know.
Okay. How much is your constitution?
My final is 8.
Okay.
5. I'm sorry, 5.
5. All right. Which means you have a regeneration level of 1. It's the basic one. You recover 10 life points per day when you rest, or 5 life points per day when you're not resting. If your characters are going to be traveling, you are going to. That's the rate at which you recover. You also everybody recovers 1 fatigue point for every hour of rest that you get. Since I
Yeah,
know
rest.
a lot of you spent fatigue points during this fight.
Lots of fatigue. So how long do we rest?
I'm going to give your characters like the equivalent of a day's rest. So for Jeff, that means Gabriella recovers 10 life points, and yeah, so for everybody else, if you don't know your regeneration level, just tell me how much Constitution you have.
I have 8, which means I have 2 regeneration, so I get
Yes.
20 back for a day rest.
Yes, you get 20 life points when you rest, and 10 when you're not resting.
Cool beans.
And how much fatigue? 1 per hour? So
Yeah.
all of it.
So basically, you're all going to recover your fatigue between now and the next events.
Ooh.
So, are you going to do anything else that night, or just finish resting and decide what to do in the morning?
I'm standing watch. I had the middle watch, so I'm going to stand my watch and then wake up whoever's job it is next to stand on watch.
Right.
I think Luca woke me up, so I will wake Roy up for the final watch.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea to have Roy watching
Why?
Yeah, he has the
because
worst.
he has really bad perception.
He has a
I have
perception of
fucking
1.
problem.
Is this something we know?
I don't think that it was ever mentioned how bad it is, but I feel like we would have noticed that he was very
Okay, let me rephrase the question. When it comes time for us to figure out how we're going to divide the watches up, do you willingly take a third of the night, or do you volunteer that you make a very poor watchman?
I will admit that I make a poor watchman, but I will still take a shift if you guys wish me to.
How about your other half there?
Also a poor watchman. I mean, he's a giant 15-foot armor.
And helmets give you penalties to perception, as Luca can attest.
And giant 15-foot suits of armor don't walk around, so obviously something more is at work here. So it would be reasonable to assume that one could also, in addition to having a means to animate said armor, that it might have some sort of a detection process that simulates the ability to spot danger as it's approaching. So therefore, we cannot assume anything since it's already violating what our natural assumption would be.
Fair enough.
Does it not? And I look at you with a very sarcastic look.
But to be fair, it is still a hunk of metal, no matter what it is.
Excellent. So in other words, though not particularly useful at spotting danger, it will remain as alert as it can be 24 hours a day.
Correct.
All right. So I guess Luke and I will just split the night into 4 or 5 hours each. Does that sound right? Fair? Proper? Appropriate?
Okay.
Also, where's the medicine thing? Is
Where's-
it in a roll?
The what now?
Medicine sheet, you said?
Yes, I'm taking care of it right now.
Gotcha.
So the next morning, your characters have all had very tumultuous nights. Do you have any Yes. So as your characters wake up, emerge from your sleep, you're still sore and you're still wounded from some of you from the previous fights, and yeah, it could be that if you were that your characters might decide not to continue this adventure and to return to headquarters, as that could help out, as that could, how do I say, um, as maybe you might need to reevaluate with your superiors, or you could go straight east. It's up to your characters to decide what you're going to be doing now. So, uh, your characters are, having breakfast together. I suppose one of you, I think Luca's crossbow skills could have gotten you nice, a nice animal hunted at the break of dawn to feed all of you. And yeah,
He even has stealth to sneak up on animals.
yeah, perfect. Um, so as you're eating the this body and replenishing your stacks, what do you do?
Hey, Roy.
Yes.
So your that guy showed up and basically did so much damage that we were unable to protect the cross, essentially costing us the loss of that cross, since we were not able to put up an effective fight to defend it.
Mhm.
So I'm just wondering, maybe you would care to share with us exactly how we can quickly and effectively dispatch him should he show up again, so he can no longer be a negative influence on the success and mission of ourselves as well as the Inquisition.
The same way that we did.
Well, it didn't
If,
work, so we need something else.
well, to be fair, the only reason it didn't work was because of the three stooges that came here.
Well, no, the damage was done long before they showed up. The damage was done the moment he attempted to convince us to just walk away and leave you here so he could take care of you, which I don't imagine any reason why he would think we would just walk away and abandon a companion in that fashion. By the way, I don't know if we had mentioned that to you previously, but that was what he snuck into the camp, which you don't do. You announce yourself prior to entering in the perimeter of a campsite. That's what you do as a common courtesy. He did not do that. He chose to actually enter underneath the uh, covering over there that's now destroyed before he announced himself. As so, at that point, we had to assume it was an intruder in our camp. And then he told us that he had passed with you and that you were danger and we didn't know what we were getting into and that we would be best leaving you here and just walking away and letting him deal with you. So naturally, that would never happen. So at that point in time, when it was clear that he was only going to accept that, that's when I attempted to run upstairs and wake you, at which point he went over and began attacking Al, and then he attacked us and all that stuff.
My thanks to you.
So I'm just thinking we need to figure out a way to dispatch him next time he arrives, and fighting him in the way that we didn't work. So perhaps you can, depending on what you may know about him, you could share with us any weakness or any tactic that could be dealt. Although I imagine if you did know one, you would have dealt with it yourself.
I look debatably.
I mean, honestly,
Um,
his actions indicate he's no Inquisitor. No Inquisitor, especially a High Inquisitor, as he claimed, would never act in that fashion. So, and also by having the cross of a High Inquisitor tells me that this is somebody who's so powerful and dangerous and disrespectful that he's actually killed a High Inquisitor or fashioned one himself to impersonate one. So I can't believe that he would actually be what he says he is. If he was, then why he would have chosen to fight other Inquisitors, knowing the mission that we were on, knowing what was going on, just makes no sense to me. So I'm thinking maybe you can give us shed some light on that.
What all would I know about him, DM?
Mm, you're asking me?
Yes.
Um, you are so you are you do know that is a High Inquisitor, or it's possible that he is like a what's it called? An a creature that could be impersonating him, because you know there are a couple of shape-shifting supernatural entities. But the way that he acted tonight is consistent with the curse that he put on you uh, earlier, and you are aware that he does have the the rank of High Inquisitor. The rest of what you know is, you know, what he mentioned during the previous game, and what's written in your backstory. You um, you didn't know that the curse he had put on you was the same curse that he had on himself, and yeah. Also, I think when you I think you're calculating the damage repair wrong, because you're putting point
Well,
0.04 instead of 0.4.
you are correct, actually.
Yeah. So you actually regained 21 life points on your first roll, and
Okay.
that would be 72 life points on your second roll.
I was about to say, oh god, I'm gaining no fucking health.
Yeah, you.
Uh,
It's a good thing that I picked up on that. Otherwise, yeah.
By the way, are you still like going off to hide to repair Al, quote unquote?
yes.
Okay.
I'm doing it while,
Well, Al, are you letting Al repair himself from the inside while you're having this talk?
yes.
Okay, good.
And then Roy, does it when he goes to sleep.
Okay.
Anyways, I did not know that he put he put his curse on me, which is interesting, to say the least. But, as for defeating him, he, if I am honest, is a High Inquisitor. He may not act like one, however, he does have the rank and title. As for powers, uh, he is strong, but as we've seen, we can take him on, which is a good testament to our power, I would believe. I'm not exactly sure how we should deal with him in the future, though, unfortunately.
Well, obviously he's able to dodge everything I do because he made me miss him 6 times. So
I nod. He is a crafty one. Devilkin always are.
so he's obviously bent on hurting you and is willing to hurt us and or kill us in order to get to you. And this comes in the face of us attempting to complete the mission that we were given by the Inquisition. So I'm almost inclined to return and explain to them that due to the interference of this Damien person, that the cross has fallen into the hands of the enemy.
I agree, but I am worried. The man said that the cross could be what the machines need to wake. If we let that go too far, then we have no chance. So I'm unsure whether or not we should hunt it down or gather resources and people.
I find it interesting that you think that we, the Inquisition, would have no chance against whatever awakened monstrosity that brings forward. It says him from a dead sleep, or what seemed to be one. He's just laying there against the wall with his hands crossed over his stomach.
Well, had not the reckless nature of this alleged High Inquisitor caused me to reach a state of almost dead, I would be more than willing to go after and risk my life. I just feel that at this point I am so incapable of mounting a successful offense against them, especially given the numbers we know that they have at their disposal. I don't see how dying before relating what we do know to the Inquisition helps the big picture. I think letting them know what we do know, yes, it will allow them to mount or proceed with their plans further, but unfortunately, the recklessness of that alleged High Inquisitor has left us in a very bad situation. And I just don't think we have I don't think we any longer have the ability to mount an adequate offense.
I should specify two things. You do have a map of the old world, which is the map that I showed you earlier, which except it does not include the continents to the west. Basically, this whole chunk of land you don't have a map of. Basically, you know where you are, and you know it will take you some time if you head towards the wherever you head towards. If you head towards the island of Kirdan or back towards the Dominion, you'll be you should it should take you 1 or 2 months, enough to recover most of the damage that you took tonight. Um, and the other thing that I wanted to specify is there's um, traveling pigeons, which are able to send messages if you need to at most cities that you could stop at on the way.
Yeah,
Oh,
the other thing I was going to say is, are there not Inquisitor way stations throughout the land?
yeah, I didn't think of that. That would be good, sending a message.
There
Yeah, that
are
would.
there are places where the Inquisition has fortresses. Um, the most especially, um, most Inquisitor teams act independently from each other, complete their missions, and then return to where they were sent on a mission from. The only exception being, the exceptions being some Inquisitors are um, asked to stay inside of a certain principality and keep working there, except for the principality. Yeah. So, for example,
Is
the Inquisitors who are in the Moth, or who are tasked with taking care of the creatures in the Moth, stay inside of the territory of the Moth for most of the time. Your
Are there
characters are
any
more of a
stations
traveling team.
near us?
Hmm?
Are there any stations in between us and Kirdan?
No.
What about Brudge right over here? It's got a
Um,
cross next to it. It's got the white circle around a big black circle.
those only signify that those are major cities or capitals.
Okay. So I'm
Um,
going to guess that a major city and or capital is likely to have some sort of, if not the pigeon system, then at the very least an Inquisitor detachment there, or if not a specific Inquisitor, like a group of, local people who are devoted servants of the Inquisition, who are there to stand ready to assist the Inquisitors as needed.
mhm. There's you can always I know that there's different orders of knights or people of the church that you can get that you can rally behind you, or even just regular uh, townsfolk, people who could
Right.
listen your call if you called for help.
So maybe that's a good idea, is we make our way to there where we know they'll have at least some people and the pigeon system that we can get word.
Plus, we need a boat.
Yes, which and that does appear to be a port.
Mm-hmm.
It is a port. I know that place. It's cool.
Bruges is a port. You'd have to change principalities and go to I think it's the Principality of Cannon with a K. But yes, you could head in this direction.
All right, that sounds like a good plan to me.
That does.
I mean, unless depending on what this place is right here, I can't quite read that on the map, even at full magnification.
Bruges.
No, where I'm pinging.
Okay, hold on, give me 1 sec. Oh yeah, the port of I think it's Emura or El Nura. It's I read. Hold on. So it's not on the coast of Greece. The coast of Greece is just a ghost. Is a place that's largely haunted. The port of Emura. I read about it. Just give me 1 second to find it again. It's inside of the Principality of Abel. And oh, Ebura. Yeah, Ebura is one of the most important commercial ports of the entire Inner Sea, located at the mouth of the Zafir River. The large city began as a mere crossover point for boats, but with time grew in power and influence. Many people agree that nowadays, even without the same luxuries, it competes with other important ports like Yiraf. A council of nobles governed the city, although due to their wealth, two high bourgeois have been admitted in their ranks. It's also a place frequented by many mercenaries, which is why it is easy to find higher swords and adventurers. Less than a year ago, in London went a lightning attack from 3 pirate kings, causing serious damage to the port before the attackers fled from the city. That's all you know. That's already quite a lot, actually.
That is a good bit of information.
Yeah, if we were to go there, we could possibly acquire some assistance from the mercenaries.
Possibly.
The mercenaries, to what end, though? We need money for that.
Yes, but there's a church, and the church will provide the funds that are necessary, and then we will notify the Inquisition that this church provided the funds needed for us to acquire the mercenaries, and then the Inquisition will thank them for their service. But they may believe that the Inquisition will then send them a refund, so we can let them believe that. Is that a logical assumption, GM, for how?
Yes, the Inquisition could definitely show its gratitude if you mention to them that this church has been helpful. The church overall takes care of its finances and makes sure that like if expenses are made by the Inquisition or any other branch, that like it balances back out so that generosity is never met with disregard.
Good. It is ideal.
Um,
I think there's equal merit in going to both places, but I think the port city is closer. Would be less time on our behalf to have to.
We would also be able to use the port city as a springboard to Brudge.
Very true. So in either case, it makes a lot of sense to go there first.
Yeah. Bruges is very financially stable. It's also an enormous fortress of stone, wood, and metal, magnificently designed by the architects of Able. Um, mm, It has a famous Navy museum where the Imperial Army keep all kinds of artifacts of war, from simple swords to whole vessels. And it has no walls by land, but it relies on a sophisticated marine defense system called God's Thumb, which ensures the protection of the Navy while it is moored. Yeah, there is nothing concerning the Inquisition being in either of having a presence in either of these cities.
That is a shame.
It will soon.
Technically so.
Right. So, I'm gonna have a look at the scale. Wait, does this map not have a scale? Oh, I thought it did.
No, it really doesn't. What I
Okay.
had to do is I had to go into like one of the by principality maps that did have a scale and measure that a certain distance, and then measure that distance again on the overall map.
Oh god.
Yeah, I've got the maps on my other computer, but yeah, it's going to take can I have each of your agilities, please? Just to know how fast you travel in general. And it could be modified by the weight of armor.
My armor technically does not give me a penalty other than a -5 right now,
Okay.
but my agility is 8.
Okay, your agility is 8.
Agility of 9.
Okay. And
agility.
And what did you say, Jeff?
Mine is also 8 with no armor restrictions.
Okay. So
Wait. I do have a -1 movement, I do believe. So never mind. I have a movement speed 7.
okay, but it's you have to check if it is compensated by your skill of weight armor being above what it normally should be.
No. I need at least 50 more than the requirement, and sadly, I do not have 50. I think I have like 30 over the requirement.
All right. Okay. Sadly, this version of the core rulebook does not say how fast one travels, depending on one's agility anymore. So, yeah, we're going to say that it's if you start heading towards Ibura, and it's going to take you uh, 3 weeks to get there. So each of you is going to regenerate for the equivalent of, let's see, 14 plus 7, 21 days. So
Healing! Not rested healing, but healing galore.
yeah. So Gabrielle, for example, that means that you recover 105 points, I believe.
Alright, so I'm back to full.
Luca, I believe you recovered 210.
Yep, I'm also back to full.
And Roy, we're going to assume you just spend enough time doing the like healing healing along the way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you're not going to arrive to the port of Ibura first. Instead, once you leave the largest forest of Able, you find yourselves in front of a fishing village. Um, it has like high stone walls around it, and you're overlooking this village as you arrived, and like as you've climbed on a large hill, and you're like going to start making your way down. But as you see this walled off port, you like all of you start to notice, although probably not Roy, um, the supernatural energies coming from the town. Squinting your eyes and observing the scene, you realize that there's something going on in that village. So you, all right. What's happening is that there's 3 technocrats, the ones you encountered earlier, and the 3 of them have what seem to be psychic shields on them, and in the center of town, they have gathered townsfolk in a line, who some of them which look wounded from a previous fight, and the line leads to this arachnoid type metallic structure, and as you observe, a woman is pushed into it, and the spider basically starts to implant into her different mechanical implants, including the larva, a larva similar to the one that you took off of the technocrat's body, and and she screams in agony as the rest of the villagers look very uncomfortable at this entire process. Near the arachnids, you can see that there's the body of 2 other villagers who've already died to failed attempts to convert their bodies into elements of the machine. And also, right here, all of you can see that the wall of this place has just been has just like completely crumbled, possibly because of an attack against this place. So, your characters arrive to see this, you haven't been spotted by the technocrat. This one is flying above the machine, and this one is making rounds along the city wall, and is currently not on the same side at which you're at. So, what do your characters do when you see this?
I have a question.
Yes.
During the entire journey here, was there any opportunity to look for or acquire anything in regards to making poisons or antidotes or anything like
No, this is the first human settlement that you've come across, because you had taken lengths beforehand to um, to stay out of to stay away from civilization, because you were carrying this dangerous artifact. You met you went past a couple of farms, and like very small villages, but nobody had anything nobody had anything in regards to poisons there.
Well, fortunately, in the wild, materials and ingredients can sometimes grow. That was actually what I was referring to.
Oh yes, you can roll once for herbal lore for every week if you'd like to find poisons available
I would.
in nature. So I'll let you roll this while I have a look at the poisons available, which is going to be very useful because with all of those potential casualties nearby, your characters might not be able to charge in. Okay, so mm, so I'm pretty sure arsenic is made out of parts of the seeds of some fruits, including, I believe, not peaches, but apricots. So with a successful roll, I could get you some royal arsenic. Uh, okay, and there's also and I'll also get you some belladonna, which is harvested from an uncommon plant capable of inducing sleep. If you have 2 successes or more. How the difficulty 120, and no, you're not going to be able to find what's it called, arsenic, but I'll get you some belladonna. So
Okay.
you've been able to collect 2 doses of belladonna. So it's it causes unconsciousness, and the check is the poison to resist it is difficulty of 80. Activation is quick and duration is long, but its transmission is through ingestion. So someone has to eat something in order to with belladonna inside of it in order to be affected.
Okay.
I'll add it to your poisons. You have 2
Okay.
doses of it. So, everybody else. So, is there anything else that you wanted to do during your travels to here?
Can I can I use that to create an antidote to it? Because I think I would rather have the antidote to that than the ability to actually do that.
Sure. You can. We can say that you created more instead of an antidote specifically for this. We can replace one of the doses by just a general antidote. Would be able to affect different poisons, including
Okay.
maybe we could get something that is able to affect to cure the types of poisons that you have. Sound
Okay.
good?
And how many doses of that can I get?
You're going to get one. You're going to get 1 dose of anti-poison from your rolls.
Okay, so I'll make sure that they know what it looks like and where I'm keeping it on my person in case they need to get to it, or if they need it, let me know and I'll get it.
And what does it do?
Like a poison antidote for a bunch of different poison stuff.
Oh, nice. Wonderful.
Right, and it causes um and it causes unconsciousness. Okay, so now you saw one of the technocrats being part humanoid. Now you have the confirmation that humans seem to be the base of how those created, and you're seeing a group of villagers being used as test subjects. By the way, specifically the technocrats from Kirdan, they seem to be a bit more incomplete than the ones than the images is usually shown. So they don't stand as upright as this image. And in fact, all of them are always a bit hunched, and their movements are a bit more mechanical.
They're
So,
being rushed out.
Hmm?
They're being rushed out.
Sorry?
They're being rushed out. They're being
Yeah.
mass produced.
Yeah, basically. So, what do you do?
I have my armor now. He's going to say, so Roy, you took care of these very fairly handily last time, right?
Yes.
Then in that case, I'll go in first. You do what you know to do.
I nod. There may be casualties, I warn.
Keep them to a minimum. That's all we can do.
I can try and sneak in and get to a place where I have a better vantage point, although they may be able to detect me with their psychic demonic powers.
If they had some sort of field, we would see it.
Yes, it's the big ring thing.
The big ring thing?
Oh wait, do you not see the aura? The auras around the
I
different
do not see
characters?
the.
All
No.
right, so hold on. Um, how do I make this visible?
move it from the GM layer to the player's layer?
It's already on the tokens layer. Emits light. All players see lights. Yes, here it is. Everybody can. All right. Do you see them now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Very
Although
stinking green.
they're too big, you need to make them a little bit smaller for
No.
us.
That's exactly the proper scale. Basically, the yellow one that's around that's around his body is the is just the shield, and the green thing is basically a sort of it's a psychic power that's a sort of bubble around this around the one at the center, and you don't know what this psychic power does, but it's like just out of his body and touching most of the time.
But I do know I want it smaller.
Yes.
What?
We admit. We're a joke. I think that's a joke, right?
Well, I seriously want it smaller. I mean, I'm not saying it isn't correct to scale. I'm just saying I want it smaller.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
So wait. Just to check that we have it on the same scale, real quick. Do you see it ending where my arrow is pointing
Yes.
right now? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
And
the proper.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
There is only one with the aura. They don't all have the aura.
Yeah. Only one of them seems to have this power activated.
Okay, cool. That's at least all right.
Like
Well-
it should be going to about here.
That's something for you to worry about. I don't gotta worry about it at all.
Well, yeah.
I'm walking in.
I'm gonna try, if I can. I'm gonna try and use stealth and get through and go left,
So
and staying out of.
all right. Dude, because you've seen the situation from a distance, and because you can like go back over the hill to discuss strategy, you have a little bit of time to plan. In fact, the procedure seems to be taking an excruciating amount of time. How are your characters going to approach this this situation? Like, do you take time to plan for tactics, or do you start? Does Gabrielle start sneaking? Because you gotta be careful. There's villagers' lives on the line.
Yes, I was expecting to just say, all right, I'm going to go in first. Roy, follow behind. Try to look at least like a combatant as possible until you bring out the strings. I'm obviously going to draw their ire because I have armor and weapons galore. And as far as he can see, I'm not really sure what would be the best target for Elle, so I would leave that to her discretion.
I have a question.
Yes.
A DM question. How far is it from the walls to them?
I am not that good in distances in English, in feet and all that, but also in meters and centimeters. I'm not that good.
Well, you can talk in meters. I have a vague idea about meters.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just learned
I-
about meters in school.
I don't have a very good one, but I'd say. Would you say it's accurate to say it's about 30 meters from the wall to there, based on the scale of the image?
I
does
would
that seem?
say most likely. However, I want it to be smaller.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's going to be. I think it's going to be something like 30 meters. Hold on, because I
That is
know one floor is what, 2 meters normally on a building.
What?
What about it?
Hmm?
What about it?
What is one floor about 2 meters on a building, or 3?
I mean, there are a lot of them that where it is too, but I couldn't fit in a 2-story floor.
Okay.
So I'd hope
Yeah.
not.
3.
Huh? Okay, let's just say it's 30 meters and between the wall and the center of town. But there is a lot of cover. and Gabriella is very good at exploiting this. So,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Well, if nobody's opposed to the plan, I'm moving up. I'm not running up. I'm marching up.
Same.
What about Gabriella? Do you go ahead? Do you go to the side?
Yeah, I go to the side. I'll move over to the left.
Okay.
Do you want me to
I'm
roll
gonna
a
be
stealth
moving up.
roll or?
Yes, I definitely do. Oh, you're. Let's see if I can't.
I'm gonna be moving up to about 20 meters from them.
Aha, here you go. Yes, I've added your token to the map as well. So, are you? There's different entrances to the town. Some of which you can see have been closed, like this one right here has been closed. But this one, for example, is still open, and there's like a couple of others that are also open. So, yeah,
Oh shit! Actually, there's a guard there.
yeah, there is.
I totally didn't even see that guy. Well, this makes combat a lot interesting. A lot more interesting. If you trap an enemy, can they still speak? Question mark?
Yes.
I believe so.
The a good way to dispose of an enemy to make sure that they're not able to do anything is to use a take down maneuver or to use some poisons that are fast acting enough to stop them from being able to move their mounts or just makes them fall unconscious or something.
Gotcha.
So, we're going to see Gabriella as the like goes up first, trying to find a good position, trying to maneuver around, and you are not spotted by the technocrat that is patrolling the walls. You manage to find your to find yourself like against the outside wall, even able to enter the city itself. What is your objective, Gabriel?
Okay, so I'm thinking that I'm hoping that somewhere in here there would be the place that mercenaries would congregate. This is that city, right?
No, it's a smaller fishing port next to Ibura.
Oh, oh, I gotcha. So I guess I'm gonna try and go this way
Mm-hmm.
inside over
Okay.
to here, maybe get in this building and maybe get on top of the building, someplace where I can get a good vantage point, because I want to be able to see my target is going to provide itself when it's being attacked by them already. So I'm not knowing which I'm going to go after. I just want to be ready so I can see wherever they start the fight,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I'm going to join.
All right. So yeah, you're able to position yourself. Let's put your token. Do you take the risk of making a climb check while staying stealthed to make your way up the building or not?
If I can go in the building and go upstairs and then out through a roof access, that would be great. Because I don't
Yes,
have a great.
there's windows, but there's no roof access. Like it's not been built so that the roof can be accessed easily. So you'd have to basically climb from one of the windows uh, to, uh, to the roof if that's where you wanted to hide, or you could just stay. Uh, there are there are some windows that have a clear view of the plaza, allowing you to have a vantage point of both technocrats, the villages, and the machine.
That'll do.
Okay. So you don't need to make any more rolls. As for the others, as you stroll towards the fortress, I feel like it's not going to be. I feel like Al is cannot make a stealth check based on his,
Size.
size, on the machinery noises, metal grinding noises of a tank that he makes when he moves. So you are going to be spotted alongside Luca and Roy.
Oh
Uh,
yes.
the technocrit that is hovering above the city, you
Um,
can like patrolling
man,
the city is flies over to where the other ones and are before you've made your way within range, and casts a psychic power that seems to be something like a communication between them, and then he's going to uh, come back to the edge of the city. Uh, what do you do? You're not. You're still about to. You're still about like 150 meters away from the wall at this point.
I
Oh,
would like to say that I'm on the defensive. Is that all right?
yes, definitely.
Okay.
So you can only take the only action that you can take is 1/4 of your character's movement, but
Oh,
you get a plus 30. Oh, you mean defensive maneuver or on the defensive?
like the on the defensive maneuver, that's not full defense, but it's like I get plus 10 defense and negative 30 attack, I do believe.
Okay. Yeah. Let's you're doing this one instead. Got it.
Yes. And doing that, and he's going straight in. He's taking full notice, but he's sort of like marching towards the machine.
Mm-hmm. You're heading towards the square. All right. What is Roy doing? What is Roy and Al doing? What are they?
Roy and Al are just getting ready for the fight.
Yeah. Okay. Mm, up to 300. Oh. Why does it have to be in feet instead of meters?
If it's 300 feet, it's like slightly more than 100 meters, or slightly less than 100 meters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
3 feet equals 1 meter, more or less.
Right.
There's like a couple additional centimeters there.
I believe routine is 20, easy is 40, moderate is 80. So difficult is going to be 120. So they can do that. Okay. Um, at so you reach about 100 meters away when away from the walls when the one who seems to be guarding the walls starts to basically he uses some psychic power to tear tiles off of a nearby roof of the guard's tower, and he's going to project them at you. He's going to aim specifically, I believe, at Al, who's the biggest target. So Al,
Oh.
you're going to have to defend against this. Um, but first, let's see how much bonuses I get to my uh, projection. 149. That is good.
It is pretty good.
Um, so I'm not going to go directly starting using the the other weapons that they have stored within them, and they're just using ballistics with this. So 140 gives me plus 10 projection when I concentrate on a single target. No, I think instead of this, it's going to be an area attack that attacks all three of you. So
Okay.
you're going to have to defend Roy. You're going to have the penalty of moving both Roy and Al to your defense check. But don't worry, their attack isn't that powerful.
It's stinking
Ooh,
tiles. Oh,
I
that's their
acted-
potential. I thought that was their protection. Okay, that's a bit worse.
yes.
Do I do it? Roll the dice.
It hasn't shown up. You might have the small window with the modifiers popping up that you do in the center of your screen or behind
Oh,
your
okay.
character sheet.
Maybe. There we go. I rolled a 9. That means no damage, but I cannot take a march. I can only wait. I can still move quarter my speed.
Yes, you can still move a quarter of your movement speed. When can you roll to defend Roy and Al, please?
Yes, I have to find a negative for using both again.
Yes, I believe it's a -40. But if you have Al move in front of Roy to block the attack, then you only need to roll to maneuver one of them.
Okay, then yeah, I'll do that. Or I'll have Al move in front of Roy.
But that means you can only use Al during this turn.
Yep.
Okay. Um,
I beat him, correct?
sorry, what?
I beat him with my
Yes,
block.
you did. Yeah. Um, yeah, you're able to defend, and you're not put on the defensive this turn. Um, to the meanwhile, inside of the city, Gabriella, you can see that both of the technocrits that are inside of the city walls are a bit more alert. They're a bit more cautious now that they've been warned that there are people coming, but they're letting their friends take care of the combat. So are you going to? Yeah, you in the distance you can hear the sound of the tiles. Basically, the way that they're being thrown is they break the sound barrier and are projected like pieces of like cannon shrapnel at incredible speeds. And Luca and Al you're able to put your swords or your weapons in front of the damage and protect yourselves. But you're up against an enemy that is that's able to like snipe you from a large distance. What do you do?
Yeah.
I just keep watching, making sure that these other ones down here are not going to get involved. Just keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, they seem to be concentrating on keeping the procedure going. You can see that the villagers look a bit hopeful and confused. Some of them are pointing towards the technocrat on the wall that they're able to see, and yeah.
The one thing I couldn't find, and I went back and looked through the chat log to see, was when we determined how much of that poison I got from my darts, because I don't remember the number of the.
I believe I told you you got 9 doses of indigo and 9 doses of spores.
Okay.
Based on your roll, or it was 6, I'll just give you 9 instead because that's what I.
Well, I've used 8. That's why I'm.
Hmm?
Well, I mean, I guess technically the 6 that missed the Inquisitor, I don't know if that uses up the poison on him or not. Like by it hitting whatever it does hit. I mean, obviously it's something.
No,
so.
we're gonna say that it didn't.
We're at what?
We're going to say that it didn't, unless if it was a spore which would have broken, then it wouldn't have used the poison.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just gonna keep, like I said, keep an eye on these guys over here. I'm not gonna head over there until they appear to be in trouble. I think it's more important that I keep an eye on these guys to make sure they're not gonna go try and join.
Fair enough.
All right. So Roy, on the turn where the combat starts, basically you're not put on the defensive. The enemy started the combat, so yeah, you can still act. So what do you do?
Okay. Roy and fuck, dude, it's 100 meters, right?
Yes.
Fuck. My wires can only reach about...
I believe it's 90 meters.
No. No. Oh, is it 90 meters?
I'll have a look. But
Okay.
I know that I'm just under your range as far as I remember it.
I mean, if it's 90 meters, then I need to change that. That's huge.
Uh,
I thought it was 25 meters, but that
okay,
might be
so
different things.
the hands of the witch, allow you to touch and handle objects from distance. The filaments can affect a single object at a time with complete freedom. The only limitation is that the filaments cannot extend past a certain distance. You can reach a maximum distance equal in feet. Oh, it's in feet. Equal to 6 times your power. Your powers. So how much is your power at? I think it was like 10, 12 or
78.
something.
I can reach 78 feet.
Oh, okay, you can reach 78 feet. How much? Oh, that is
That's a
that's a bit
26 meters.
lower than what I remember. Okay, 26 meters. Okay, so your range is not as strong as I as we had calculated during character creation. So yeah, basically you're under fire at a distance where you're not able to fight back. So what are your characters going to do?
Move forward.
Okay.
Best thing I can do.
Um. You can only move. You can only move Al this turn, but Al is easily able to pick up Roy if you want to like have both of them move closer.
Mm-hmm.
What is your? How much can you move during one turn?
Um,
What's your agility?
9.
Okay. So if you run, if you move up to your maximum movement in
105
a turn, you would be moving uh, you would be moving 105 feet, which would be 30 meters. 35, 30, somewhere along those lines. So yeah,
Awesome.
you move closer.
Yeah, I'll full move.
Okay. Next turn, let's have everyone roll initiative.
Initiative.
I have to say, I was not expecting you to, all of you to go necessarily with the direct combat route like this, but that's good. It's what my enemies are strong against direct confrontation from a distance. So
Oh, shoot. Ignore that. Or if you don't want to ignore that, you can subtract 15 from that. So 97. Oh boy, smash! Fast smash.
You're in 6.
so, turn order. Um, uh,
All right, there you go.
Okay. You can fill them in inside of the new initiatives I've put out for everyone. And 172. Oh, perfect! It did it automatically for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wait, did you just put up a initiative counter?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
I didn't put it up. but basically you can click on the timer icon on the, I believe it's, let's see.
No,
Left.
I have.
Mm-hmm.
I was just saying that I have my own macro for that. I can put it up there automatically too.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Luca and Gabriella. Gabriella, you don't necessarily have to roll for. Oh, you did roll. God damn it! Okay, just one thing, Jeff, for the
I know.
reroll.
Yeah.
I don't think you
Holy
do.
shit.
I don't think you do know for the rerolls. Basically, you roll on 90 or more on the first roll, but on the second roll it's 91 plus. On the third roll it's 92 plus. So because on your third roll
Oh.
you rolled a 91, it stopped there.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
minus 76.
yes, so minus 76. But what is your total is still? Oh my god, you have the surprise on everyone right now. To a ridiculous amount. So anyone that you'd attack now would have a minus 90 to defend against you, but they would get that anyways because you're hidden from them. So do you want to act this turn or not? Or
Not
wait?
yet.
Okay, you're biding your time. Perfect.
How far away is, I guess this guy right here is the closest one?
This one?
Yeah, this guy here?
Yeah. We're going to say that's like he's just 2 floors away from you. I'm gonna say 15 meters away from you. Sounds about. No, wait, no, 10 meters away from you. Sounds about right. I'd say.
Okay. He's well within my range.
Okay, cool. Do you do anything or not?
I'm actually going to wait and see how this plays out because I'm thinking if he's going to do anything like move, I would want to make an attack at that point in time, the moment he presented, say, his back to me, so I can get the additional flanking or rear bonus as well.
Uh, so, psychic power 188. That's really nice. So this time, um, instead of tearing off tiles, you can see that the strange vortex that's out of which they exploded the last time you fought technocrits. They have this sort of they have a sort of like a weird space shifting ability, and the one that you're facing off against, he starts to pull out weapons from inside of his body as if his body was like a black hole and he was just pulling stuff back out of it. And with no regards to mass. And so basically, currently he's just taking out a bunch of lances, like a bunch of spears, and he has about 30 of them. And he starts to project them against you. And since I have since he does see that you're strong enemies, he's going to focus only on Al this time, which means I get a bonus to projection, and I'm going to spend a couple of extra psychic points to boost my projection some more, just to make sure. Just to make sure I land a hit. So
I guess this is way too late for me to say that I'm not defended on the defensive this turn.
no, it's perfectly fine. No attack has been sent yet. So yeah, it's possible for you to say this.
Okay.
But why, though?
Okay, ballistics. At 180, I get plus 20 to my projection, and if I spend psychic points, I can wait, improve an innate power, eliminate fatigue. increase psychic potential, increase psychic protection, plus 10 for every point. I'm gonna spend 3 for a total of 50, of a bonus of 50 to my projection, which should be enough to hurt you some. All right. Can you roll for defense, please?
One more quick reminder: how far away is this guy from us? Like, how high up is he?
He's only hovering above the city wall, but the city wall is like I'm gonna say 9 meters tall.
9 meters.
Yeah.
Okay, that is
I'm-
definitely too high for any normal person to climb over.
All right. So your armor is you have this like extremely thick armor, and basically you're able to take that hit. It only like scrapes against your armor. It doesn't damage Al, despite like basically like you have a bunch of spears that just collide against you, and you block some of them with your axe, but the rest just bounce off on your armor. But you're put on the defensive, sadly, which means it's Lucas's turn.
Wait,
Lucas is
wouldn't Roy get a turn because
No,
No?
no.
What the fuck? Oh my god, that's so. Oh.
Because you had to go out of your way to do a maneuver to defend. It's you're sort of like not. That's what being on the defensive is. You're overwhelmed by your efforts to just not take any damage. So you're in a so you have to like take a second to make sure you're well defended. Even if yeah. So Luca.
How far is it to the guy in the center of the square?
Currently, you're still 100 meters away, minus 1/4 of your movement, because you were on the defensive last turn. What is 1/4 of your movement?
Wait, on the defensive last turn?
Yeah, you were put on the defensive last turn.
Yes, but yeah. Okay, I got it. I
So
thought you said that this turn I could only move 1/4.
Yeah.
Let's see. 28 meters is my movement speed.
Okay.
7 meters.
Okay, so you moved. Yeah, so you're 93 meters at the start, away from him at the start of this turn. Yeah. Do you keep advancing as well?
Yes, he's just gonna say to Roy, "Deal with that one. I'll get to the center," and he will move to the center. He will go off at a run. I would even like if I could see it to begin a charge maneuver.
Sure.
Over.
Is there? But you can do the charge maneuver whenever you're within reach of a character.
Well, like that's when I get to use the charge maneuver, but I actually have to be moving towards the target for at least one full turn before I reach them to make a charge. So I'm gonna get 4 turns in there. It's not gonna help any, but I'm gonna do it.
Okay. I should remind you that you have your crossbow. That has quite a longer reach than your sword, especially since the enemy is up above on the wall.
That is true. But I can't move and shoot at the same time. Well, I can move and shoot at the same time. I just get big penalties for it.
Yes, you would get a pretty big penalty.
What distance am I at from him now?
You're currently at 35. You're currently at 65 meters away from him.
All right. Next turn.
This is movement.
My movement was just 8. I got 22 meters and 7 meters last turn. All right. That's okay. I'm not going to use my crossbow right now, but next turn I will be in range of him with daggers.
Okay. So wait. Last turn you moved 7 meters, in this one 28, right?
Well, if I move my full movement, I got to start rolling for fatigue. But I guess I do have athleticism.
Yeah. Let's not worry about fatigue for just running at the full move speed.
Oh well, I would have fumbled. But okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Well, do you know the range of your crossbow?
my crossbow. No, but I'm on the range just looking at daggers. My crossbow is
It's how much is the strength of your crossbow?
my strength is 8, so that's plus 60 feet or 20 meters.
No. How much is the strength of the crossbow? Because you're not using
Oh,
your own strength like you would for a bow. You're using the strength of the crossbow.
okay.
Yeah, itself.
My crossbow is also a strength 8.
8. Okay, so it has a distance of 60 feet.
Well, that's plus 60 feet. The
Yeah,
base range of a crossbow
yeah.
is 60 meters.
Okay. Oh, cool. So you're technically in range if you want to use it.
I was gonna I didn't want to go through like the I already have my sword and dagger out.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't gonna go through the whole drawing penalties thing, and I'll just throw daggers at it next turn because I can do more damage with daggers.
Okay, perfect. Um.
Oh wait, did I get any of my daggers back?
Yeah.
I would have gone to look for them.
Yeah. You took the time. You got your diamonds back.
Okay, I thought they might have been broken. Gotcha.
All right. New turn. New initiative.
And I will now use my impressive macro.
Whew, not good for me.
I barely beat the technocrates.
Yeah, not by much.
No, not by much. Technically, if they're shooting, even if I were to stop them from shooting, they would still hit me.
Don't worry.
Slow smash today.
And Jeff, you're at. Jeff, do you want Gabriella to do anything this time? Still not.
It's the same thing. So I'm waiting, watching. I'm aiming at that guy right
Oh.
there, actually.
You get a +10 for every turn that you aim at someone, up to +30.
Okay.
For 3 turns.
So for the time being, I'm just basically aiming right at this guy over here.
Okay.
Making sure he's not going to move or get engaged or do anything, or no sounds of disaster come from my command.
All right. So on this turn, you come closer, and Luca, you come close enough to the technocrits that you're able to observe it. You're able to you can aim at it and hit it, but you can also see that it's smiling from its advantageous position, and it's going to start manifesting the weapon that it's going to throw at you, and it looks like basically it looks like a cannon shell, ripe with cannon powder.
All right. Now this is the one right here, right?
It's the one, yeah, that's on the. No, it's this one who's been shooting at you. The other two have not moved from their positions. Yeah.
Oh, I thought I'd passed him and was moving towards the guy in the center. Shoot.
Well,
all right.
No. You're still outside of the city, heading towards this guy, basically.
All right. Can I do a goofy thing?
Yeah.
All right. I have to move my full movement before reaching him. So that is a negative 25 to all of my subsequent actions.
Okay.
I have 3 daggers. They're precise. If I want to target a weapon, I only get negative 20. So I'm at negative 45. And I have 3 attacks, which brings me to negative 65. But I want to try to hit the cannonball.
Okay. You're not going to be able to, unless your daggers somehow have fire damage, you won't be able to make it explode. You can only puncture it.
Okay. And it does have, so it has like a fuse on it.
No, it's more of like it's either this or it's okay. So here's the thing: they are
Yes.
described as having a lot of different types of ammunitions, including explosives. It's just that
Yes.
like the only thing that I see as being a potential explosive in this thing, in the time period of anima, would be cannon things, not like sticks of TNT. That would be a bit too goofy.
That would be funny though. But
No,
yeah, I get
actually, they have their own technology. I think it's going to be. It looks like a giant black beetle. Um,
Ooh.
that's what it's going to look like to make it much simpler. Yeah, it looks like a giant big beetle, and it has like what's it called? Uh, uh, um, Mesh thing that's been lit by the technocrat.
Okay. In this case, I do not know that it is explosive.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to use my daggers on the dude.
Okay.
3 daggers. Here we go.
All right.
Dagger number 1. Dagger number 2. Dagger number 3. That first dagger was alright.
So, first psychic defense, no modifier.
Yeah!
Okay. Yeah, there.
I probably don't hurt him, but I stop him from using the stupid beetle.
Yeah, at least you're going to stop him from using an explosive on Al.
That's potential. That's not protection.
Yeah. So, we'll just have a look at one thing. You are throwing a bunch of daggers. Yeah, I need to have a look at shields rules. Just real quick, because I need to remember what penalties actually affect shields, because they don't take the same penalties as everybody else.
No, they only get surprise penalties and like vision-based penalties, which he has none of.
Yes, but I need to check if they also use additional attacks. Okay, the only modifiers applied to shields are surprise, put at weapons point, vision partially obscured, vision totally obscured. So additional attacks don't give me any penalties.
This is true.
Okay. So potential second one and potential. Wait, no. Yeah, they have the same potential as their protection, so it doesn't really matter. So you don't hit the second or third ones, but you do hit the first one for 50% of your weapon's damage minus my armor. They have an armor of 4, which means you do 10% of your weapon's damage.
4.
You do 4 damage. Okay. So
I do 4 damage.
Yeah, you're going to scrape his shaven skull with your first dagger, and the other 2 are going to miss. You realize that maybe what you're when you're going against these foes, like multitude of attacks doesn't work. Oh, but you're damaging his shield. What is the base damage of your weapons?
It is 40. So
Okay.
bits of damage there.
Okay. So you do 80 points of damage to the shield. So it is slowly. So yeah, you can see the psychic energies that are protecting him, that he concentrates to try to block some of your attacks, is weakening, becoming weaker with every attack that you put on it. But I don't believe that it breaks with just 80 points of damage.
I would doubt that too.
Armor, shield. No, it has 500 life points, so you can still take a few more of your daggers, unfortunately.
What? More daggers than I have.
Yeah.
But only 2 swings from out.
Hmm?
Only 1 if I did it like we were talking about it during character creation.
Yes, that was a horrible idea, and I'm glad we didn't go for that. But there's an option for an inquisitorial weapon for a lawbringer to be able to do 4 times the usual number of damage to shields, and that would have brought each of your attack to about 1,000 damage to shield, or 2,000 or something. Enough to break most shields in a couple of attacks.
That way,
Fuck.
you wouldn't even want to roll high. You would just like run a circle around him, like check your bag, get a bunch of penalties so that you didn't roll over, and then just crush his shield and him at the same time.
Yeah. But we didn't go with this, so it's all good. Okay. It's the Technocrit's turn. He's on the defensive from this. So, Roy, it's your turn. What do you do?
Yay.
Have Al throw Roy, and then Roy uses his finger noodles.
Yep.
What?
I was making a goofy possibility.
That's good.
So, what do you do?
How much is the negative for 2 attacks again?
2 attacks is going to be a minus 25, but yeah, for each individual attack.
Okay. So I'm just gonna use. Al's gonna carry Roy and protect him, and basically he is going or provide cover, whatever. Roy, however, is going to be the one to take 2 attacks.
Okay. Because you're using both of them at the same time, you are going to get the penalty of. Wait. Yeah, you're going
Really?
to get. Yes, you are going to get the penalty of making both of them move at the same time, because one of them is running and the other one is attacking. So I believe that brings your penalties to minus 60 for each attack.
55. Because it's a 30.
Oh, okay, cool.
30 per.
But they can't see your noodles.
Yep, they cannot see my noodles.
Or they might not be able to. I don't know. This one's going to be better than the other ones.
I'm gonna have a minus 90 to defend because I cannot see this. But
By the way, are you in range?
Plus, like, how many attacks did you do on the guy?
Well, he doesn't get multiple defense penalties.
Oh, why?
Because he's using a magical shield. Well, a psychic shield.
It's a psychic shield.
Gotcha.
I do the inability to see the attack coming does do the same penalty to defend as when you don't see the attack coming. So I do have a minus 90 to defend against this.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is going to. No, he's not going to defend like he knows what's coming. So, and minus 90 on the second one. Okay, so you do 30%. So the first attack is. Oh wait, is it an energy-based attack or is it piercing damage?
It is cut.
Cut. Okay, so the first attack does not connect, and the second one you're able to do 20% of your of the monofilament damage.
You were rolling under potential, by the way. Is that intentional?
Yes, I keep doing this, but the potential and the projection is the same. So you do 15. Okay. You do 15 points of damage. So it's going to be 16.
Yeah, this next turn, now that you're in range, you probably don't need to worry about Alan. You can just use those and rip him up.
Yeah, I'll just be using Roy.
Okay. You'll just be using Roy from here on. Okay. Okay, so they are able to defend much better than during the last combat where you killed 3 of them in an instant.
Well,
new initiative.
yes, only because I am unable to actually fucking reach them until now.
Yeah.
So they got 2 free turns on me.
Alright. New initiative. And
Initiative incoming.
Whew.
Strings, yes. Go.
Okay, if you roll 30 or more, you take me by surprise.
You take him by surprise.
That's gonna hurt.
This is good. Too bad initiatives for the
So I
mechanical men.
have minus 200 to defend.
Minus how much?
I have minus 200 because I'm both surprised and unable to see this. So I have so you
No.
do so you're going to be able to do 100% of your uh uh yeah. So whatever you do, you're going to do 100% of your damage on the first attack. Uh yeah. I'd say you're the first one to act.
Yep.
Okay. So roll your attacks. What's you're using your monofilaments again?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
That's not bad. That's also not bad.
Let's see.
Wait.
Do I get lucky and
You do
open
get
roll?
minus.
No, I do
No.
not. I rolled a 9 and a 35. Wait.
Do you get a minus 25 to those for the 2 attacks, Roy?
I don't.
Yes, I do.
Not me.
Not
I
that
took
it'll
the
matter.
minus
I
25.
don't see
Okay, cool.
I don't see you adding the penalty to the.
My attack is a 142.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
From the thing.
lower your attack every time that
Yes.
you should.
Okay, so if you open up your weapon, you can look at it, and next to the gray box, you can add positives or negatives. I just use
Oh,
that.
okay, yeah, you use that instead. That makes sense.
That's fine.
Sometimes it does glitch out and it doesn't work. But
130 and 140. That is 270% of your weapon's damage.
Woo!
What is 270% of your weapon's damage?
202 damage.
Okay. I believe that I blow up this turn. So yeah, the Technocrete, surprised by your second wave of attacks, is unable to defend with his shield correctly. He's unable to place the psychic energies in the right place to stop your monofilaments. And you, after you remove your attack, it takes a couple of seconds before his body starts to move because he's been sliced all across his body, and like the bits at the top fall first, and he explodes. The vortex inside of him that contained all of the equipment he was storing, including other explosive beetles, simply snaps out of his body, and they are going to um, to do an area attack, and I believe your characters are quite likely to be inside of this area.
I'm okay with this. This time I'm not being exploded on 3 times, and I have my armor.
Yes, thanks to your armor, you should be able to tank
Does it
some.
reach out at 26 meters?
I'm checking the range right now. I'm in the demons section of the bestiary. The machine. What? So since I moved to my new computer, here it is. I don't have access to the indexes in the same way that I used to. Cohesion. When a technocrat dies, its body is unable to withstand the pressure of all of the objects held inside and explodes, releasing a shower of metal shards that hits everyone nearby. Within a radius of 60 feet, so that is 20 meters. I believe I hit both of you. And it's.
Technically, I'm still at like 20. I'm at 40 something meters.
Oh, okay. Then in which case you are you're not hit. Roy.
So I'm like literally a meter out of it. I'm like a meter or two out of it. I'm
Okay.
barely outside the range.
Make a defense roll, and it's instead of difficulty 180, it's going to be a difficulty of 140.
So plus. Absorb blows. There's unless you crumble even with absorbing blows, there's no chance of taking damage.
Yeah, just
I have a 140 block.
so you might roll a 1, so I'll let you roll anyways. Okay. Yeah, you're able to defend against the shrapnel. As soon as he blows up, Gabriella, you see the villagers shouting in fear and confusion, and the one that's near you starts to move towards them, saying, "Silence! Stay still." And this one is going to move towards the entrance where the other one exploded. Uh, I believe this one is going to cast the same psychic power. You see him concentrating for a few seconds, and he also gets a large green bubble around him of psychic energy.
Uh-oh.
So what's okay? So Gabriella, just real
Yeah.
quick, for I wanted to like show you a couple of things about this psychic power, and I think like maybe this could have been something that your character noticed while you were um, observing while you were aiming earlier. Could you roll a notice check for me, please? At a difficulty of 80.
This guy should be able to rip all those technocrats apart. I don't know what he's doing. He's
Alright.
humoring them, I guess.
So Jeff, here's what Elle noticed. You saw that you saw a couple of things. As soon as one of the villagers tried to move out of the line, the technocrat that had the green bubble was immediately sensed it and walled them off with an invisible wall, and he also saw you also saw him like while he's been on high alert during the combat. At some point, a bird flew into his sphere, and he immediately turned his head in the direction of the bird as if he had sensed the bird entering, despite the fact that the bird was outside of his range. But you've also seen a couple of insects moving in and out of that that sphere of green psychic energy without any reaction uh, from this person, and you could think that it's a detection of minds, but when it gets activated while you're inside of it, you don't seem to be noticed by this technocrat who just activated this power. This one is heading off to here. So, Jeff, what are you going to do anything specific now that they are changing things up?
Yes, as I said, the moment that this guy reacted to the combat or took notice of it, this one
Mhm.
that was here, when he was back here and within my range that I was aiming at, I'm going to shoot him twice with poison darts and then take cover behind the building.
Okay.
Like my intention is to take the 2 shots and then like not even worrying about what happens. Like I'm just, my intention is to flee as fast as I can, run back through the building,
Okay.
find a different spot to hide.
Do you have? Oh, nice. You're using sniper techniques. Do you have poison on your weapons?
Yes, both of them.
Okay. Different poisons?
No.
Okay.
It's both the indigo poison. It's the only one that I have that's contact poison. The other ones are area or ingested. So.
Okay. Perfect. So, go ahead and make your 2 attack rolls. I believe you're you're at a +10 for both of them because you've been aiming for 3 10s, but each attack comes at a -20.
Okay, so 3 turns is 30.
Hmm?
It's 10 turns, so 3 turns of aiming is 30.
Yes.
Does that go to both or just the first one?
I believe it goes to both because you don't have to adjust your aim between
I
each.
believe you. I believe you.
Let's see. Yeah, you're
And
not
then
at
minus
point blank
20.
range.
So
And
net is plus 10.
Yeah, the total is plus 10. You're not
Okay.
moving. He is moving slightly, but it's not at a speed of 8. So you are yeah, you're good. You're good with those modifiers. So make 2 checks, and he's going to be surprised against the first attack and at a minus 90 to defend. Actually, I believe he would also be flat for basically a total of minus 120. Okay, so your first attack hits and does 100 and it's going to be 130% of your weapons damage. How much is your weapons damage?
25.
Okay. Roy, can you get this? 120% of 25?
Oh, sorry. Yep. So
30?
25? Yeah, 30. That
Okay.
sounded right.
And 20% of the, and 20% of the weapons damage for the second attack.
5.
Okay, fine. So you deal him 35. Right. So he has only 90 life points left. And then you roll for stealth against his perception because he is trying to locate you.
And then 2 poison VR 100.
Yes. So I have to roll 2 VR. Wait. That's disease. That's magic. That's psychic. That's poison. Alright. I do believe I'm at these scores, but I need to check real quick.
I'm getting awfully tired of these terrible rolls.
70. Terrible rules?
Rolls.
The
Oh.
die roller is rolling really bad for me. I mean, other days I've rolled retardedly good, but just at this particular point in time, I keep rolling.
Can we not use the R word, please? It's a slur against people. So yeah.
Nothing.
All right. So what's the poison's normal resistance quantity?
VR 100.
100? Oh damn. I'm sorry. I passed both of them by 3 and 9. So yeah, he gets hit by both of the by both of them, and you can see the poison starting to seep into his flesh. But even though his muscles start to seem atrophied, the metallic parts of his body start to like start to steam a bit as they work over time, and he's still able to move. I have a question for you. When you're moving, when you're hiding and getting a new, better location to attack from once again, are you doing this? Are you moving stealthily out? Are you moving quickly out of the building that you are?
The only quick move was getting out of the doorway and out of his view. Once I managed to roll backwards and out of his view, I'm stealthily moving.
Okay.
Out the back way here and around this way, and going to the north part of the map to find another location.
You definitely put him on the defensive, so he won't be able to attack you. But when you move around, when you start to move inside of this green energy field that you're in, each of your movement creates waves inside of the field that you're able to see, and you understand that basically you're inside of a movement of a psychic power that detects movements, and Yep. So you're able to leave this spot and maneuver around to go to another building. So that's going to be it for your turn.
One more question.
Yes.
Does the speed of the movement seem to have any effect on the bubble? Like, in other words, is there any point in trying to move within it, or is it just within it he can detect it no matter what you do?
When you if you like the movements that you were having when you were aiming were doing so little waves that you yourself didn't even notice it, and he didn't seem to react to you aiming, but and he didn't seem to react to your projectile as well because it might have been too small for him to register. Um, but now he might be more able to detect them. But yes, going slow or being very small gives you bonuses to not be detected.
You need to get smaller.
Gotcha. Yeah, right. I need to find a way to become tiny.
Crunches up body.
That should be your
Um,
epic stage. You can be really small.
so I believe. So just give me 1 second to check.
Really
So.
small, but still maximum anger.
Yes.
It's
Maximum small.
okay. So the thing about it is, you are actually, you know, you're actually a little ball of anger. However, you need to become denser. Just fucking become smaller and still maintain your same anger. Just become a denser ball of evil or anger.
Yes.
Okay.
Except
Wait, where the hell is movement? Motion detection. Here it is.
I have to develop a key power that I can channel my anger into a direct attack.
Yes.
Nice.
Anger lasers.
As for the other two, I would like both of you to, because you're within the sphere of the motion detection power. I would like both of you to roll. Um, oh, it's a physical resistance check in order to.
Hey, I'm good at those.
Hmm? Yeah.
I said, hey, I'm good at those.
I believe I rolled 180, so that means the difficulty is 200. Okay, 200.
Woo! I'm not making that. Did you want me to make that as well, or just
Yes, both Roy and uh, um, Luca should make this roll just to see if your movements are being noticed.
all right? If I made 100, I could have done it.
Yeah. And Roy, can you roll as well? Physical resistance.
for what?
Just roll physical resistance to see whether or not you have your movements detected.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, no, um, your movements are detected by the psychic powers of the new one. And basically, this one is a bit smarter. He stays behind cover behind the huge wall, and he's going to start launching projectiles onto the other side of the wall, towards where he is detecting your presences. So, um, I do believe. No, I'm going to try to trap. I'm going to try to trap Luca instead of attacking. So, Luca, please roll a defense. There's a psychic power coming straight for you.
That's all right.
All right. So, projection. Whoo!
Oh, he open rolls.
Yes.
Oh, this is
1d
not potential.
100 plus 220. Okay. Oh, second open roll.
Second open roll.
You
I'm
don't
really
have
glad this isn't an
inhumane?
attack spell.
You
or
don't have
attack-
inhuman?
I believe I don't have any humanity with these, so I will be capped at 319. Yep, I need to check it real quickly. Da, da, da. Physical resistance. Da, da, da. Yeah, I am unable to reach the beyond the inhuman difficulty. Um, and I psychokinetic trap. And I'm going to roll my potential. I know usually I'm supposed to roll potential first, but since they don't fail their um, so you
Okay,
are
that's alright.
going up against the strength of 12. Oh, it's a 15-foot radius. I'm actually affecting, I believe, both of you. If I hit both of you. Thanks to this amazing roll. Can you also roll for defense for Roy to see if Roy is also trapped?
Alright.
This is a good day. This is going well.
For evil, I'm going to roll. I'm going to spend 2 fatigue on my strength roll. If that's okay.
Yep, definitely.
You can use what stats?
You can, I believe, you can use agility and strength to get out of it, and I can use strength and dexterity to aim it. But I'm just doing it with a strength of 12. Also, I get the bonuses depending on how well I hit both of you. So
Yeah. Actually, I
trapping.
did that.
Okay. So block. I beat you by 172. That's almost 200. Mine is 420, so it's going to be less than that for you. It's going to be less than 200% for you, and it's going to be less than 200% for both of you. Okay. If the attacking results less than 100% damage from the likewise, if the character's attack indicates 200% damage, he applies a +3. So no modifiers, just a strength of 12 against both of you.
Which is still
And
pretty good.
I believe Roy has already failed.
Yep. However, Roy doesn't matter when it comes to trapping, really.
Okay, I got both. Hmm? No, yeah, you can also roll. I believe you should also roll with the strength of Al to see if Al is also trapped, please.
Sure.
Okay, so 17. Um, the trapping maneuvers.
I am only minorly trapped.
Okay, so
No.
since
Fuck
I
you.
Okay, so Al is not affected. His massive strength, activated by all of the pumps inside of the armor, allow you to keep moving despite the pressure. So I think it's going to be one of those anime moments where the villain is gloating on the other side of the wall, out of your reach, out of your sight, and saying, "I can detect your movements and trap you from over here." And then suddenly he feels movements coming from Roy, and from Alan, he says, "What is this incredible strength?" On the other hand, Luca, you are. Let's see. By a margin of 3 to 10. That would be you. You're mostly immobilized. You have the penalties for being mostly immobilized from here on, and Roy has the penalties of
Immobilized.
Wait, I am minorly immobilized.
Wait. No,
oh
yeah.
sorry.
Or-
Roy is mostly immobilized. Luca is partially
Oh.
immobilized, and Al is not immobilized at all. Where? Oh, god damn it! I got a bit confused with the turn order. I believe this is a new. Yeah. We didn't roll for the initiative for this one, but yeah, which we should have. Sorry.
Can Al get his attack?
Hmm?
Can Al charge forward and get an attack in?
You do not see where the enemy is at, but you could definitely
Well, if
try
it's
to destroy the
loading.
wall on your way to the enemy.
Yeah, okay, that's fine with me.
Okay. Um. Yeah. Go
Should I
ahead.
just roll a breakage?
Sorry.
Should I just roll a breakage? Because I'm gonna hit the wall.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it's a
The wall isn't going to defend. I don't want to get into the breakage rules. Just could you just roll normal attack and see and tell me the how much damage you're doing, while I'll look up the life points for a gate.
1.9, so 342.
342.
I think I'm toppling that wall,
Yeah.
which the guy's behind.
So it's a portcullis. It has Okay. What's the base damage of your axe?
180.
180. Okay, so you are able to damage it just by sheer virtue of how massive and destructive your weapon is. And in one attack, you did how much?
342.
Okay, you're not able to completely destroy the portcullis, but yeah, basically uh, um, you're carving this massive hole in it and bursting into the city. And yeah, you can see the technocrat who was hiding like behind one of the houses, like as you enter like the city here, and he looks terrified that you're able that you're able to move that you were able to move out of his trapping area, despite the fact that he like cast it perfectly. Luca, what are you going to do during this turn?
Luca has technically been the recipient of an attack, so he cannot do any active actions, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Now, can he?
Mhm.
I know that he's only minorly immobilized, so he's not really hampered too much on his actions. But can he move at all, as in walking? Can he move any distance, or is he stuck to that spot?
I I would allow you to move because it's not a trapping in the normal sense, but your movement is going to be like bothered by a lot.
That's okay. I'm going to move as much as I can passively towards the door, and that'll be it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're able to move by 1/4 of your movement.
7 meters.
Um, it does not say anything about movement while trapped. So yeah, your how much is your passive movement?
My passive movement is 7 meters.
7 meters. So you're able to move halfway out of the trapping zone that you're in. Okay.
Oh, sweet.
A new turn, new initiative, and now
So
everyone is inside of the combat, including Gabrielle.
Like, question, would Roy be able to as well?
We're moving
No, because
faster.
because if you'd have had to have the -30 penalties of
Right,
moving
right.
both of them. My
Gotcha.
initiative does not change that much from turn to turn. I was at 97, then 96, and now at 100.
Aha, and I'm always just a little bit ahead.
Okay, Luca is 109, and Al slash Roy.
8.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to keep just out for the reminder for things. So, Gabriella, you're the first person to be able to act again. You're currently outside of the motion detection area, but if you want to move to the window to have a better shot, you're going to need to enter the motion detection psychic power. So, what do you do?
Okay, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to move up to the point that it is, and once I get there, I'm going to crawl at a snail's pace on the ground.
Okay. So you said you moved to the edge of the psychic power?
Yeah, so but before when I enter it, because you said I have to enter it to get a view out the window.
Yes.
Unless there's a view that I could lean out the north side and see this
Okay.
guy from there.
So basically, currently you're inside of this large bedroom, and you are able to see the technocrit from where you are, from the outside of from the window, but you're only able to see like up to his torso because of like the window blocking part of your view. If you want to have an attack at no penalties, um, you need to move up to the window, but you're still but if you don't want to enter the area of effect, you don't have to attack. So it's up to you.
Yeah, I don't want to move. So on this side of the building, right?
Yeah.
On this side, is there a window I could lean out and then see him from without going, like, in other words, instead of going from to this side, which is the closest to him, is there a window on this side I could lean out and still see?
No, I believe that based on the drawing, there's no image of windows on this side. So I believe the windows are on this side and this side. But you can always
Okay.
make a window. You can always make a hole.
No, that's okay. What I will do then is I'll move up to the field, and when I get to the field, I will move as slowly as possible. Like, I'm going to start ridiculously slow and see if I can how fast I can move without getting the field to ripple, because I'm thinking that's what alerts him, is when the field
Yeah.
has a visual effect.
Um,
So that's what I'm trying to do.
you know what? I'm going to. I know. Roll for physical resistance, and I am giving you a bonus of plus 60 since you're moving really slowly.
Okay. Is that target number still 200?
No, it's lower because this one cast it one turn ago, so it's actually difficulty of 180. Ooh,
Of
you missed
course.
by one. Your rolls are always so close to. But yeah, basically.
May I attempt to claim a bonus of 1% based on the fact that I am inside of a building, and therefore there may be the slightest bit of intolerance due to
The bit it's one of the good things about this power. It's not affected by walls. It's not affected by barriers at all.
What
So
about by all those people moving in it?
yeah, you failed the check by 1 point. So basically, I think what happens is that like you're trying to test how slowly you can go and try going faster and faster, and then like it surprises you because it creates a ripple, despite the fact that you didn't. It doesn't go from from no ripple to small ripples. It just does a ripple as soon as you reach a certain speed inside of it,
Okay.
and you are detected. The technocrit moves his head towards you, and he sees you.
No,
He's
I'm laying on the ground,
okay.
remember? Crawling forward as slow as possible.
All right, so he doesn't see you, but yeah, he has detected you, and you can see, thanks to your ability to see the supernatural, that you have created a way. You're very likely you have been detected.
Okay, I stopped moving.
Okay. All right. Do you do anything else this turn?
No, just remain there, completely motionless in an attempt to make him think that maybe I moved through it, but I'm now no longer in it, kind of a thing.
All right. Luca, it's your turn. What do you do? You might be muted. Luca?
Sorry, I was muted. It's my turn. I will. Well, I'm out of the motion, so but I can't really break this portcullis myself, so I'm just gonna let Al keep at it. In the heat of this battle, I would not quite say that I had figured out exactly what this aura is.
Sorry?
But I was saying in the heat of the battle, I don't think that Luca would have been able to figure out what this aura is. He's not incredibly intelligent, but he will gather. He'll draw out a few more daggers, get rid of that drawing penalty, and wait for the door to go down.
Okay. All right. So that's it for your turn then.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. On his turn, the one who's next to Al is going to take flight. I have a movement of 10, so I believe I'm able to move 25 feet into the air or something. Let's see. Yeah, 25, a bit more than 25, about 30 meters into the air. So basically, like he sees this behemoth of metal coming towards him, and he starts to fly upwards, releasing his trapping on Luca in the same turn, and I can move and attack. He's going to throw one of those explosive beetles directly at Al. The other one, on the other hand, you're going to see. Gabriella does not see it, but basically he lifts up one of the villagers into the air and says, clearly you're trying to save these people because you try to attack us stealthily. So you must value their lives. It's a shame. And he's going to use one of the villagers as a projectile for his attack against Gabriella. Basically, he's going to try to do an area attack. Gabriella, you're going to have a big bonus to your defense because you are protected by a wall, but you're also prone. Both of you are going to get attacked. First of all is an attack against Al.
Being prone at a distance would make it more difficult for him to hit me.
Yes, I believe it would actually. You're absolutely right.
Cover generally.
I mean, in the real world, that's how it works. I don't know
Yes.
how it works in a game.
Let's see. From the ground. Okay. So that should be in the projectile modifiers, I believe. Target behind cover is -40 for him. On top of that, let's see. Change target. Target moving more than 10, having defended, attacking beyond affecting range. Large target. It doesn't. Doesn't have a target is prone, which is so weird. But I'm going to basically give him the same penalty to hit you as you have for dodging. So basically, from being on the ground, it's going to be a -30 for both of you. So basically, no modifiers. Okay, so both of you have. Okay, so Roy, you are defending. He's the one who's attacking you is taking you seriously. He's spending 5 psychic points to boost
Jesus,
his
fuck.
projection in an attempt to hurt you. But thanks to your armor, you're going to be okay. Okay, so you're not hit, but because basically the beetle like bounces off against you and falls to the floor. But then you can see that the mesh that has been lit up reaches the beetle, and and you can see flames starting to come out of it at incredible speeds as it explodes. So I'm going to ask you a second defense.
Really?
Yes.
Who
And
fucking... What's the negative for that?
25. Yeah, as much as an explosion.
Should I be taking this defense too? I'm kind of like I'm within 5 meters of Al.
Armor.
Al was able to move out of the trapping zone at no problem. So you're but based on your placement, you're still outside of the city. He's inside of it. Like you're outside of the range of this explosion. Yep. This might be the first time that I actually get to do damage on Al, at least consequence damage. Okay, so
319.
347. You have an armor of how much with Al?
9. Also, it's 319. Because inhuman.
Okay, I do 100% of the weapons damage. It's a
You just do a normal attack then.
yeah. It's a what's it called? It's going to be the same damage as a cannonball. So you take 150 damage on Al. Is that anywhere near to
No.
half of your life points? Okay, so you don't take a critical, but basically, like yeah, Al takes a cannonball exploding right next to him to the face. And
At long last.
Gabriella, can you roll for your defense, please?
No, I'm not doing anything. I'm not moving. I'm laying there, covering up, not moving, not creating anything within that field for him to tell that I'm there. I want him to think he's, no matter what happens, I want him to think he's failed to hit me because I'm not there.
All right, so you're doing the maneuver known as taking the blow. I believe.
Well, unless block would allow me to block without moving, you know what I mean? Just like covering my head or whatever.
But... yes, it would allow you to do a minimal amount of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that. I just don't want to do anything to make a ripple myself in his field.
Yeah. Basically, just before the attack, basically, it's a human being thrown into the room, like through the wall at incredible speeds, because they're able to like
that's fine
throw things beyond the speed limit and beyond the sound barrier. And so basically, it's going to be like bits of bones in the entire area, and so I just wanted to say one thing. You can see ripples from the attack just before the attack enters the room, and you can roll for block.
Okay.
Yeah, no modifier. Alright, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go at...
There we go.
Oh, I do have target behind cover. I do have a -40. Okay. So, oh, nice. I'm only going to do 30% of the damage from a human body. It's not going to be that much. It's going to be, let's see, 40. Yeah. 3 times
So is he like telepathically controlling the body, or is he just using his ability to fling it really fast in a straight line?
He's using telekinesis to hover the human body. Technically, he's not supposed to be able to do this to bodies. He's technically doing this to the clothing of that poor villager.
Yeah.
And yeah, you only take 12 points of damage. It's only a bit of shrapnel, but it's thrown at such incredible speeds that it crumbles parts of the wall and like you can see like a piece of the jaw just stuck to the wall on the opposite side of the window, but you yourself have not moved. You've done no ripples, and
Gotcha.
you hear him saying, "You're sneaky, but but you're not going to be able to escape my sight for long. And besides, if you're here for the villagers, you'd better hurry up. Or I might run out of ammunitions." And it's your turn. You've been put on the defensive this turn, but you have been able to stealth your way out of this detection. Luca, it's your turn.
I thought I already had my turn.
Wait.
My
No,
turn
no,
was
no.
like,
We need to reroll initiative. It's a new
yeah.
turn.
Yeah.
I must say, your characters are doing really well in those combats. I hadn't planned this encounter as a combat at all.
You know what?
I had planned it to be originally just like the possibility for Gabriella to show off her assassin skills, but I, you turned out differently.
You know what?
Um,
I'm going to just fucking say, hey, if I take a hit, I'm still fucking acting.
okay, you want to be you want to take a blow this turn?
I don't know. No, it's the other one.
Um, turn.
I don't maneuver shit.
Special defenses. You want to absorb hits. You can take a
No.
-80 to forgo your attempt to block an attack and instead simply take the hits as they come. If you do this, you take a -80. It's a fixed penalty now, and after I didn't I? Oh, I didn't. And even if you've already been hit, you will still be able to attack, unless if it's a critical hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Sure.
that's what you're doing this turn. So first on the initiative is the Technocrits.
No. Luca.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. Wait, what?
Lucas
Oh,
will
it's
Yeah, roll
turn.
for initiative, Luca.
Oh, I did. I got like 100.
Oh, yeah, you got 140. So yeah, so you are here, and yeah, the Technocrits are first. The one that's above you, uh, Al, is just shouting, "Why won't you die?" And I believe he's going to move back towards where the other one is and say brother, this armor is nigh unstoppable. We might have to retreat. And the other one is the other one says, no, we shouldn't leave any traces of our attacks, lest they start to arm themselves against our incursions. We fight to the death. And I think just for his turn, I think let's see, they're supposed to act together and mechanically. Oh, I know. They're both going to they're both going to attack Al together as their prime targets. So
Really?
yes.
Awesome.
I'm sorry because there's basically nobody else who's present. They're both going to
Well,
try.
the other one, L, but
Yes, but they basically aren't able to sense where she is.
so all they said was, "I'm gonna find you," and whatever.
Uh, yeah, pretty much. Right now he's just waiting for her to move inside of his sphere of detection, and
Yay.
while he is, I think they're both going to attempt to trap you together. So, trapping.
What is his strength again?
Hmm?
What is
My strength
Al's strength
is
again?
great.
Yeah,
What?
what is Al's strength?
Well,
Al's
he
strength.
gets to use the dexterity.
No,
Yeah.
agility.
Um,
Well, he gets to use your dexterity for agility and strength checks, which both are what you defend trapping with.
Correct.
So what's your dexterity?
My dexterity is 11. Wait, can you use dexterity? You said agility last time.
uh,
Well, usually you can't use dexterity, but you specifically because you are controlling a
yes,
robot can
technically,
use it.
Mm.
technically you can use your dexterity, but I believe Al's strength because of the modifiers is stronger than his dexterity.
I
No,
wondered because like I thought that he had 13 dexterity.
it is not, unfortunately.
Okay, 140 and 120, which means one has a strength of 8 and the other has a strength of 10. Can you roll for 2 defenses, please? And the one who hasn't spent any yet is going to spend psychic points. So you're able to defend against the first and stronger trapping, and roll for another one of those for another block. Enemies that are flying around and hard to hit. Perfect. You're going to be hit by the other one, and you get a +3 on your strength on your check to for either strength or dexterity to defend against this. Yeah. No, wait. Fatigue cannot be spent here. So go ahead and roll for Al's attempt to move.
So, before I do this, I do have a question because this is
Yes.
really fucking weird wording.
What is it?
The marionette uses the dexterity characteristic of its controller to make any check related to dexterity and agility.
Yeah.
Strength checks are also made with that puppeteer's characteristic, but at a -2 penalty. So the dexterity actually doesn't gain a -2, right?
Yes,
Or the
minus
agility
2,
doesn't gain a -2.
but because you took the exceptional strength modifier, you get a +4 instead of the -2 with Al. So it's your dexterity
Wait.
+4 instead of being your dexterity -2 to represent Al's strength.
Oh god. Oh. Oh god, I see. Okay, okay. Al's strength is a 15 then.
Okay, yeah, I basically you're able to brute force your way out of their attempt to restrict your movements.
What is a 15 bonus, by the way?
Hmm?
What is a 15 bonus, by the way?
It's not a 15. Oh, the bonus of 15. We already put that on your character sheets for Al, I believe, and I believe it's a +35, but I can check right now.
Because originally I had Al at 7 strength.
Oh no,
I thought it was your characteristic -2. Like I thought it was your strength -2 and then +4.
I thought so too. Actually, I didn't think it was your dexterity. Wait, hold on.
But no, the thing though is for agility, it doesn't say that agility gets the -2.
Yeah, okay, no. That's what it says. Strength checks are also made using the puppeteer's characteristics, so strength, but at a -2 penalty. So it's
Oh,
your
okay,
strength
yeah.
+4. Our
Yeah, okay,
strength
no,
is your
then I
strength
was
plus.
right.
Okay, yeah.
I was right. 7. Which 7 is a +5. Alright, but agility is... Okay, so agility would actually be 11, which is a +15.
Yes.
Okay. Alright,
Okay.
then yeah.
Can you so can in this case, oh, you rolled a 1 and you were able to
Awesome.
move out of this. So you're good. Luca, it's your turn. You the trapping you're out of the trapping since the last turn, and yeah. So what do you do?
Shoot. Since the door is not getting open quite yet, I guess I'm gonna take out my crossbow and take a shot at
It is open enough for you to step in since Al stepped in.
Okay. Well, are these two guys
Shit.
airborne now?
Hold
Yes,
on,
both
before
of
we
them
move on.
are hovering. Hmm?
The first trapping would have hit me.
It would?
Yes. Absorb hits.
Oh,
Absorbing. Yeah.
but why didn't you put the -80 on both of your defenses then?
That's why I'm pointing it out now.
Hmm?
That's why I'm pointing it out now.
Okay, cool. It's just good to take it into account the rest of the time. So go ahead and make another trapping ignores armor, so you should make another check against my strength of 10 this time.
Well,
Oh,
okay.
okay. That's neat. I can totally feel I can beat this with a strength of 10. No, okay, you're able to move again.
Also, I'm using agility, not.
Sorry?
I use agility as for trapping, not
Okay.
strength.
Perfect. So Luca, what do you do?
Okay. Both of these guys are hovering. My
Yeah.
hopes of getting them in melee with me and beating them up are gone. I'll take out my crossbow.
Okay, you take out your crossbow and you move into the city.
Yes, I'll step into the city.
Okay, so you're going to be next to Al. Do you
Yes.
Al and the crater where there used to be a street?
Yes.
Okay, so are you going to attack this turn as well, or do you have too many penalties and you'd rather just
Oh
aim?
no, I will take my attack this turn. I only have a -25 penalty, which isn't bad. I roll it slightly less than they have, so a low chance of damage, but high chance of I shot them.
Wait, what are you rolling right now?
My attack with my crossbow.
Okay, gotcha. Where is here? He blocked your attack by 1 point. So you damaged this person's shield with your
50 points of damage. 50 points of damage. The base damage of 50.
50 points of damage. All right.
By the way, I'm trying to find the rule of throwing. Where is that, real quick?
The rules for what now?
Throwing.
Throwing what?
Throwing a weapon.
Throwing a weapon, the weapon needs to be made to be thrown, unless if you have, I believe, Taurus is the thing that allows you to
My
throw.
weapon can be thrown. My weapon can be thrown.
Wait, did you take the hold on 1 second. You mean the battle axe? The
Yes. The battle axe is throwable.
it says one-handed or two-handed, and that's it. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. It doesn't have the throwable quality like javelins.
Above broadsword?
No, you have the two-handed axe that does 100 damage.
Oh, I did a battle axe. I have a battle axe actually.
No, we based your damage on the
Oh.
200 axe that was gigantic to max out your so that you'd have more damage. That's what we talked about during character creation.
God damn it. Fucking hell. Alright, well that gets rid of my whole fucking idea. Awesome.
You can always throw Luca.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw me. I still got Taekwondo. I can kick this turn.
Toss me. Okay, so that's it for Lucas's turn. Gabriella, it's your turn. What do you do?
Okay, so I now know how fast I can move without creating a ripple.
Yes, you do.
All right, so I'm gonna move like a tiny little bit less than that, just to be on the safe side, and just very slowly on the ground, inching my way up to be able to see through the window and or slash holes that are in there from the debris of the body being flung in through and past the window area.
Okay.
But that's really all I'm doing. I'm just inching through there.
All right. So yes, you're able to see your enemy for an entire turn. So I'm going to count this turn as aiming, so that you have a +10 when you do choose to act.
Okay. Yep, just aiming for now.
All right. And Al, you've taken the damage. You've survived it. You haven't. You've defended at a huge penalty, and now it's your turn to act. What do you do?
What the fuck is this? Is this the thing that's making the
Yeah,
villagers different?
converting. It's currently working to try to convert one of the villagers into a technocrat. You can see it implanting different metallic implants into that poor person.
Gotcha. Can I attack this guy? Can I reach him or no?
No, both of them are hovering in the air.
Alright.
They're floating around.
Machine goes fucking boom.
Okay. Just roll to attack normally and tell me how much damage you do to this thing.
Oh wait. I'm two-handing it. Fuck.
So your strength modifier should be taken into account twice. You have a box that you can check.
I should have been dealing 10 more damage.
Yeah, 10 more damage isn't. Okay. With one fell swoop of your two-handed axe, you you plant it inside of this machine. Sparks start to fly out of it, along with just electricity from the wires you've cut. The entire thing seems to scream like a spider dying, and its legs retract the way that the spider does when it dies, releasing the prisoner inside as the process was just barely halfway through, and she just stumbles away. The machine is broken, and the two technocrats look. Both of them look disgusted by what just happened, and they are going to. Yeah.
Al says in a kiddish voice, "If you're not gonna let me smash you, I'm gonna smash your toys."
This is also a great time for a new adventure to start for this now half technocrat lady, that would be a cool character.
I do kind of want to take her and hold her under my wing, which would be really fucking cool.
Not right now, though.
Not right now, but
No.
Currently, because she's half transformed into one of the into a servant of the machine, I know what most Inquisitors would do in this case, but
Yeah.
I'll leave that to you. We can new initiative. Let's just have a new initiative.
Initiative. Shoot.
Oh, 170. Nice.
Oh,
Your
that was a
initiative
good
is
one.
getting better all the time.
Yes.
yeah. Well,
Oh, Jeff, you act exactly at the same time as I do.
Yes. Well, I think Jeff's is technically the first one because his base is higher, isn't it, right?
Yeah. I'll let Jeff act first. Luca, you have 106, and Roy and Al is at -5. So, what does Gabriella do this turn?
Aim.
Okay. So you now have a +20 to move. The technocrats, they start to. They're both going to start flying away. One of them is going. Actually, both of them are going to attempt to lift the giant spider into the air with them, but they are sort of getting a bit tired from their
Question.
efforts. I do believe they still
I
have.
I have my axe in it. Can I compete them?
Yeah, you might be able to compete in strength. It depends on the power being used. I just have to check it real quick.
Actually, if they're going to start moving away, then I will shoot at them.
Yes, because you have the same initiative, I'm going to allow you to do this. So I'll let you roll, and they are both in a state of surprise, not expecting the place where your attack is coming. So each of them will take a -90 on their first defense. Where
All right.
is?
Now I only have the aiming one turn, so it's 10, but -20, so it's an end result of -10 to hit or two.
Yeah. Are you doing
Nice.
2 attacks?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then
Do
you
one,
are.
each one.
I understand. By the way, you can spend fatigue since they're moving away. It might be the end of the combat if you want.
Oh yeah.
What am I looking for? I am looking for the psychic power to lift things.
Nice.
Have we ever determined how heavy Al is?
No, we've not.
Can you look up the weight of the heaviest armor in the game for me, please?
Absolutely. I'm actually near that right now, I believe. Armor. Heavy plate armor? I would
Yeah,
assume would be the heaviest.
yeah, something like that.
The only problem is it doesn't have a weight. It has a presence, but not a weight.
It has what?
It has a presence.
Oh yeah, but no
not-
weight. Yeah, that makes sense. With the way this game is made. So, that
He's
is.
probably what, iron?
Uh, uh,
It's 65 pounds, by the way. I admit kilograms would then be something like 30.
Where did you find the weight for it?
The weight is not with like the stats of it. It's in like where you would find the price.
Oh.
So earlier in the book.
Why does it have to be in? Oh, I'm not good at this. What is
Hold on.
LBS again?
Pounds.
Pounds.
Pounds. Okay. Um, what is?
I think it's like 30 kilograms.
Okay. I'm able to lift with both of my psychic powers 300 pounds in total.
Okay.
Um,
Half plate. I am a complete half plate. Or no. I'm a full plate, so half plate isn't even in there.
okay.
So half plate is 30, so I would assume it would be 60, and then I'm 15 feet of it. So, how much should we?
All right. So, an entire suit or field armor that is armor for battle usually weighs between 45 and 55 pounds. Even if we multiply this by 2 because of your character's enormous size, because most of the modifiers are multiplied by 2, they'd still be able to lift you up easily with this. So basically, it's not about a concept of strength of whether or not they can lift you up. It's the idea that it's the concept of strength of whether or not you keep holding on after they're able to lift you and the machine off of the ground. So
Also,
do you keep holding on?
Iron, right?
Hmm?
This is made of iron?
Of iron?
Yes. The armor is made of iron, yes.
Yes.
Steel.
Steel? Yeah, okay, sorry, steel. Doing some calculations with a diameter of 4 feet and a length of 15 feet, one piece that is round we'll just say he's a big, hub, would make me about 92,375 pounds. About. So I would probably estimate that.
But like that's for something that is full of iron inside of it, right?
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
Which
okay.
is what I'm trying to think of.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of, it would probably be about a third of that, maybe?
Okay.
Maybe, yeah. So about 30,000 pounds.
Okay, I'm going to reevaluate what I said. Basically, they are able to lift the spider on their own, but once you start to add the weight of Al to it, they are unable to lift it, and they are simply going to abandon it. And if they even are able to make their way out of this death trap, because they're both being targeted by L. Do you stay on the same target, or did you try to hit the same target twice, or each of them individually?
I don't know if the other one is out of my range.
Both of them are within your range.
Then yeah, I'll try one on each.
Okay.
And then again, regardless of what happens, I will quickly roll backwards away from the view and head down the stairs.
Okay. Right. So he's already been hit a couple of times, so he's got a.
Oh, yes, he's
Okay.
resisting.
So one of them is hurt by your poison. Basically, like, yeah, both of them are hits. Your weapon is able to pierce their flesh, but the one that you hadn't hit before, his movements are completely like blocked, and in fact he starts to fall towards the ground when his companion uses the power he was going to use to lift the spider on him instead, and he's going to be unable to do anything for a while. Yeah, they start to move away at their flight speed. They have a movement speed of 10, so they're moving upwards and away. And yeah, Luca, it's your turn. Do you do anything else?
Did you say me?
Me?
Luca.
Okay, I'm sorry. I heard L and then it faded out. Okay. I guess I'm gonna hastily reload a crossbow bolt, so that means that I get a negative 25 to this anyways. Because they're gonna get away on the next turn. I'm not gonna be able to shoot them. Here we go, second shot. Oh, that wasn't very good. I actually only think I hit things in a certain smaller radius.
Oh, nice.
Thanks to my armor, you still don't hit though, unless if I roll more than 40 on my critical. I think it's minus 50.
Wait, rolled 99.
Oh,
Okay, no, it's a small critical fail. He like you're going to pierce his clothing, but that's about it. And Al, do you do anything this
I
turn?
can't.
Yeah, you were like grabbing down there the spider.
Roy is just walking over and joining the group.
Okay, so you now have the villagers applauding, cheering you, and coming towards you, saying, "Thank you so much for saving our lives." And that poor woman who's half changed. You can see that one of her eyes is turned pitch black, like the technocrats have in on their image, and one of the other one of her eyes is normal, and there is a there's a sort of like implant that's not fully placed into her head that is bleeding, and you can see there is a psychic crystal that's emitting like that's pulsing with blue energy that was going to be implanted in her brain that's just there. But based on your knowledge of medicine, removing it would probably be deadly. So what do you do?
My lady, do you wish to be freed from the sin of the devil?
Uh, she
Whoa.
is unable to talk because of the implants near her mouth, but she knows. And you can see based on her face that she is in a lot of pain because of the procedure.
I look over to L, and I'm going to ask him if he has
I don't think you know
any.
where Elle is.
Oh yeah. Well, does L come out now?
When Elle does come out, she is returned into her disguise of the small girl, and she is apprehensively approaching Luca. Is it safe?
Or not.
I'm gonna smile and I'm gonna turn to Luca and I'm gonna say, could you get me something that could numb the pain possibly? And I glance over at L.
You want to do like a slick? You just put it in my hand while my hand is behind my back maneuver. I don't know if you even have anything for that.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
do you
I
have
will.
something that puts
I
this-
will ask. Is it one of these? And I hold out the various poison potions, but there's clearly one I'm holding out in front a little bit of the others.
Yes. And he'll just say, "That's the one," and he'll lightly take it between his fingers and hand it over to Roy.
I'm going to motion for my group to come into a building, and I'm going to ask the villagers for peace in that building for now.
As you're you can see a couple of villagers are already like trying to take care of her, and some of the other ones one of them notices the patterns on the armors both of Al and Luca, and they start to whisper the name Inquisitor, You have been recognized. You make your way inside of one of the buildings for more privacy.
I will give her the potion to put her to sleep,
Yeah,
so
it's
that
the
she may
belladonna.
not be in pain anymore. And I will say, I will ask who has the most precise weapons, because we're gonna need that crystal. We need to take it back to base. It
Well,
needs to be.
The villagers are not with us.
no,
No,
like,
Yeah.
inside of the
I
building.
I spin out a dagger, a stiletto.
yeah. Stilettos are the most precise.
Nice. Alright. Go ahead.
I will attempt to extract it as carefully and
Do you have medicine?
as possible. Yes, I have medicine.
Okay, good.
And when I say carefully, I mean, crystal before person it's embedded in.
Yeah, because she's meant to die. That's why I put her to sleep with the drug. And so that she didn't feel pain.
Okay.
Do you want a medicine roll?
Yes, please. So it's going. It's not hard. The crystal is pretty resistant. So yeah, you're able to extract the crystal. It still has a little bit of brain goo on it, but it's there. You assume that the all of them have a psychic crystal implanted into their brains to give them psychic powers, but you but that might be correct or wrong. While you're while you're doing this, one of the people who was in the line comes towards you, and you can see that he took a couple of blows. He must have tried to fight the Technocrits and lost, but he's limping. His face is a bit uh, uh, like red, where he must have been hit by something hard. But he comes towards you and he says, uh, this is what he looks like. He says, "Hello, Inquisitors. I'm Captain Florentino. Uh, you uh, you did a great job out there destroying those creatures. What were they?"
That is information that is not required, unfortunately.
All right.
My apologies.
I was hoping that what's my name? What is my name? Luca could be standing like in front of the door. He doesn't really have much business inside. He doesn't want to see them kill the person, and he also is probably the worst here at surgery.
Okay.
No, I am, because of my wires and my giant fucking axe.
No, the wires would be pretty darn good.
No, because they're not precise.
Oh, they're not. Okay, actually, I do have a dagger, but you have the highest dexterity.
True.
And
Ooh.
anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah. Who? He would probably be either talking to Luca or to Roy. So I think probably both of you while Gabrielle is extracting the crystal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as Roy will say what he says, Luca will say, agents of a malevolent being.
I nod and I motion. What he says is right.
We
I can see that you fought, though. You're brave for doing that. Not many fight against evil.
brave? No, I was foolish. I didn't realize how the monstrous powers that they had. Mere mortals cannot stand in their way, but uh, we have you to thank for our lives. Do you, um, if there is anything me or my crew could do to repay you, we'll we'll gladly help you. But all we but I'm afraid you might not find much help for us, but I can say for certain in the name of my crew and the villagers here that we are grateful for you saving our lives.
Are you a mercenary group?
Captain in the Imperial Navy, but currently our ship is currently we're on leave for a few days to rest. The the Empress has asked us to be prepared for the war against the Azure Alliance, but the things are peaceful currently, we're taking as much rest as we can before the war does start. So we don't have any orders at the moment.
Would you be foolish enough to fight them again?
You would uh, only if I was on my ship and I had my cannons this time.
I am gonna chuckle.
Hell
Well,
just smiles, but no one can see it.
You're doing surgery right now.
yeah.
Yes, and I smile when I hear that.
Yeah, you're about done
Well,
with surgery. You can come back with the rest of the.
I don't need to come over there. This can be while I'm doing it, but I hear them talking and I smile when he says only if I'm on my ship with my cannon, knowing that next step is, well, good to hear that because
Like he's brave, but he has some sense.
we do require a ship, and we require men for retrieval of an item that is most important to the Inquisition.
You're an item that these creatures have.
We were foiled by an enemy of the Inquisition, and because of him, the item was lost, and these creatures took it. We've been following them as best as we can. We are going to we are shit.
Kirdan.
Fuck. Where is it?
Kirdan.
What's sad is I actually
It's
copied and-
Kirdan.
Yes, I know.
Oh,
You're done.
sorry. I didn't know if the mic wasn't picking up my voice or something. Sorry.
All good. I actually copied and pasted it, but because I sent the link, then that replaced it. We're going to the land of Kirdan. These creatures have infected more than just your village, and we've taken out a few that it has infected.
That would explain the rumors. The past couple of months, none of the ships that headed for Kirdan have returned. We've started to believe that it might be the pirate kings settling there, but if it's those creatures instead, the situation is worse than we imagined.
We are a strong group, but this may be a war for humanity. This is a battle for humanity, to make sure that these creatures do not gain more power than they should, and to wipe them out of existence, hopefully. But I believe that best if we gather as many allies as possible. So your help is most appreciated, and I want to get a message to the Inquisition as soon as possible.
All right. I believe Old Tom he points to one of the towers, has a couple of pigeons that you could send. I'm pretty sure one of those pigeons is from the Dominion, so you could send a message to the Inquisition. I'm sorry to say though, but the, the mercenaries in the ports around here are currently being recruited either by the Azure Alliance or by uh, owned by the Empire. Most of them by the Empire because is the Empress's fleet is much weaker than that of the rebels going up against her. So everybody is uh, so a lot of people are just being ordered to stay along the coast, but seeing the danger, and what you're saying about it being a danger against humanity, I'll gladly help. I just don't know if people who haven't seen what I've seen today would.
And that is understandable. It is hard to see a threat until that threat is upon you.
I'll uh, uh, if you need anything else, I'm going to head back to the port and tell my men I had told the fleet that it's safe to come back. Like you can see he seems to hesitate as if he doesn't know how to address you, but he just nods and leaves. A couple of other of the villagers are watching Gabriella do her operation from a distance, and when when the villager ceases to move, some of them sigh in relief, as if her pain was too much to bear, and some of the other ones break out in tears at the loss of their friends. Gabriella, you've retrieved the psychic crystal that pulses with psychic energy. What do you do?
I will. How small is it? Like fist sized?
Yeah,
Fit my fist size?
it's about big like this, basically.
I would think it's about your first two finger size because it
Yeah,
has to
exactly,
fit
like
into
a
the
couple of
skull.
fingers.
Okay. For now, I'll just slip it into a pocket.
Okay. You can write it inside of your equipment. Yeah. What is your team going to do now?
Al is going to collect the spider and basically just store it.
It's as big as you are.
Squeeze it into a smaller shape.
Well, actually, it did curl up on itself like a spider when it died.
Yeah, but like it's not exactly like to scale, but like it weighs about as much as Al does in total.
Okay, can Al pull it without
Yep.
damaging it?
No, not unless
Oh.
you create like you'd have to like get a vehicle basically pulled either by Al or by um, donkeys, horses to move it around.
I will ask for a vehicle to store the spider in, like a little cart for now.
Or a decently big card.
Well, yeah.
One of the villagers, this bearded person, comes towards you and says, "Lords, we I could provide the carts that I use to move my wares around, but do you do but it's but the horses I need for my trade. Uh,
That
I'm
is fine. I need the cart. My friend over here, and I pat Al. He just looks around. Can pull it.
um, sirs, is there any way those things could be coming back here for us? It broke for our defenses like it was nothing. It killed the guards in seconds.
I heavily doubt that they would be coming back.
Oh, uh, praise be to Inquisition.
I nod. Praise be to God's creation.
He's going to go and bring his cart over here, take the horse and the donkey that are attached to it off, and just uh, give it. There's also a port nearby, a dock where a couple of ships um, are docked, and in the bay you can see a larger ship, more of a navy ship that's anchored inside of the bay, but that's not like docked directly because they just use rowboats to get to and from there. So what do you do?
All right. So we have gifts for the Inquisition. We have a giant ass spider that they can, tinker with. We have a psychic crystal, which is fucking insane. That way we can understand what the enemy uses and how it works so that we can combat it. We are searching for the crystal now.
The Crystal Cross. Crystal Cross
Yeah.
seems to be a much larger version of the crystal you have in your hand, and possibly a much more powerful one.
Ah, I see. Interesting. And it's in Kirdan. Fun. We will.
Also, I should just as a reminder, you don't have to bring everything back to the Inquisition. Some things can simply be destroyed.
Oh well, yes, absolutely.
But if you want to ship the spider back to the Inquisition so that they can study it, that's also completely fine. And you also have one of the larvas from one of the.
Yes, we do have the larva. That's right.
I'm hoping you that those who have those pieces of equipment have written them down on the sheet somewhere.
Yeah, I put the crystal on my sheet.
Okay, cool.
You guys collected no monsters trinket.
Yeah. So, what's your next step? We still have 20 minutes before.
Messaging the Inquisition.
All right.
Get that message out from Old Town.
So there's only so much paper that a pigeon can travel with over a long distance. So what's the short message that you send?
I would advise. We found an artifact in the town. It was stolen by mechanical enemies. There is a great threat growing in Kirdan, and that's where we're going.
Yeah.
You also know the name of the enemy based on your occult roll. You know that it's the machine.
Oh yes, it is one of the messengers too, isn't it?
I know it's not one of the messengers that the Inquisition tries to eradicate. It's one of the sleepers.
The sleepers, yes.
The messengers are threats that the Inquisition thinks it can deal with. The sleepers, the Inquisition can probably deal with as long as they're not awakened. From what you know, the machine probably isn't completely awakened. The Inquisition has fought the machine multiple times before. It's just that it was and prevented any awakenings so far.
Yes.
So probably something along the lines of urgent, crystal found, lost, by technocrats. Machine is in risk.
These all are very alluding to different things. Like the technocrats lost the thing, and their machine is at risk. That's good. We want to kill the machine.
All right, fine. Fuck it. All right, then I'm whatever. All right, we found the crystal. in the temple. We actually we took the crystal after fighting for the town, and afterwards we had met up with what was the fuck the High Inquisition's name?
Damien.
Inquisitors. Damien. Damien Damien hindered us, and the Technocrites took the crystal. We've been in pursuit. We are currently in what town again?
You haven't asked anyone for the name of the town.
What is the name of the town?
Some
David.
weird town.
It's Davis. It's the small
Davis?
port of Davis.
Okay. I named the town, and I say that the machine, or at least the ritual to awake the machine, is likely in Kurdan.
Okay.
So we need assistance. We have gathered a little navy group, but we are waiting for further assistance.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So
Everyone okay with that?
yeah, you send a message. You include all of the important information, and depending on how fast the Inquisition can send some people. You know that some Inquisitors are really fast, but you know it's also going to take some time before you get backup. You might be the first and last line of defense humanity has against the machine, or you might not.
Oh yeah.
You might be a bit more lucky than this.
How long? Okay, based off of the flight of those critter things, how long do we have until the crystal reaches Kurdan?
It's uh, because it seems that your characters have to rest, you have to sleep, you have to, and things like this. You're not sure that the machines do. The crystal might already be there, but it's
Hello, I'm here.
Hmm?
I made it back.
Okay, nice.
Good.
Awesome. Okay. Wonderful.
Yes, I know. My games are always such walks in parks.
Alright, then I say everyone who can go to Kurdan. I don't tell them to meet in Davos, because we're just. I think the plan is to just attack Kurdan, to be honest. Is everyone okay with that?
Well, I mean, if it's a sleeper and the church knows how important it is, then yes.
Yeah.
Putting
Okay.
as much forces on Kudan as we can spare is probably a good idea.
Alright, well, I was thinking that we attack, like, as soon as we get, some rest.
I was agreeing with that too. I figure we should maybe not go in there with intent of destroying everything, but at least go there with intent of figuring out what's happening as much as we can and stalling it if possible. Because they do have that crystal, and we don't know how long it'll be between them finding it and them becoming too strong for us to deal with.
I agree. Alright. Your thoughts, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're gonna go attack Kirdan. I thought we're chasing the crystal.
Right.
As long as we tell the Inquisition so that the information isn't lost when we are, we go to
Yeah.
Kirdan, do what we can.
Alright, fair enough.
So
Alright, so
you
let's
make your
all
way.
rest.
Sorry.
Let's all rest.
Okay. Captain Florentino comes back and says that my lady is ready to sail anytime. My men are ready, and you will have quarters arranged for you on board if you need it. Wait, did you ask him to take you anywhere or not?
Yes.
Okay,
I told
cool.
him that we need his ship.
All right. But yeah, he um yeah. So he
Question: does he have anything magical about him?
No.
No.
Not
Okay.
nothing that you can see with your eyes that see the supernatural.
Okay. Because I kind of want to get him into the Inquisition, and that would be really funny.
No,
If he was.
you can only technically you can only recruit into the Inquisition uh, children or teenagers because they get indoctrinated from very young to always
Gotcha.
fight the supernatural. But it's possible if someone has supernatural powers and is a human that they could be considered a saint instead if they're older when the church when the church finds out about their powers.
Gotcha.
We could make him an agent, though.
True. I do wish to make him an agent.
Well, technically, you're already commandeering his ship, so
Yeah.
you make your way on board, and you're going to be able to rest on board. And very appropriately, very appropriate, the ship is called the Fallen Star.
The what?
It's called the Fallen Star. The Falling Star.
Oh. Oh no.
Very appropriate for the start of your mission being going to find something that had crystal that had fallen from the sky. But yeah, this I think it's going to have a couple of it's going to have like a few cannons which aren't shown here. It has those ballistas here, and instead of the oars, it's going to have like 3 cannons on each side. So you unless if you've got anything else to do on land, the ship takes sail and you head towards Kirdan. But as you're sailing, not everything is going to be as restful as you might hope. I would like it is 2 days pass, so you're able to heal to rest for 2 days, or to make a check to repair armor twice.
Okay, so what's the time modifiers though? Because I can't find
Okay, the time modifiers for the forging bonuses are in the core rulebook in the skill section towards the end of the skills section. So you get a what's it called? Time employed. If you only spend 1 hour to it, you have minus 60. As if it's 2 to 4 hours, it's minus 40. If you spend a day on it, it's minus 20. If you spend 2 or 3 days, it's minus 10. So you can either do 2 rolls for the 2 days where you just spend your time repairing at minus 20, or make 1 roll at minus 10.
Gotcha. Okay, I see. That's interesting. Okay.
So I'll let you make your rolls, and everybody else roll for notice.
Notice time. I'm okay at that.
Notice.
There we go. Oh boy.
Oh.
Wait. What's the? Oh, that's repairing. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, Roy has just a bunch of points in the puppeteer skill, and basically the way the game is set up, if you have that fighting style where you manipulate puppets and you have a bunch of points in that skill, you just get like a bunch of armor, a bunch of life points for your puppets, and a bunch of powers for them. So it's one of those things where in anima where it's a bit unbalanced. Some skills are a bit unbalanced compared to others. L, on the second day, you notice something. You start to hear something that nobody else is picking up upon, because there's a sound that keeps growing at the back of your ears that everybody else is just, ignores, but you know it means danger. It's the sound of buzzing, and
Oh no.
you go up onto the deck, uh, wrench someone's like, I don't know what they're called in English. Like the thing that allows you to see from a distance, and you spot that
Telescope.
there's 5 of those flies that are flying still over the water, just observing your ship.
5 what?
5 of the mechanical flies, the drones.
I look around first for Luca or Roy.
Roy hasn't left his cabin since he entered it, but Luca, I think, might be having a pleasant chat with the captain right now.
Luca has no pleasant chats. Nobody likes Luca. Luca
Okay.
might enjoy being on any of the high points of the ship, though. He's pretty determined to keep watch and keep his eyes and ears open.
All right. You didn't pick up on the buzzing.
Yes.
But you so that's when L pointed to you that you're able to see the drones.
All right. I'm going to ask her to act natural, snag my crossbow, and I'm going to go find the captain, but not at great haste yet.
Okay. You're all trying to act natural. Very
Yes.
well. You find Captain Florentino talking with his new second in command, the first one having died in the fight in the village of Davos, and yeah, they're talking about how the wind is nice and pushing you straight east in the proper direction. And
He's immediately going to say, Captain Florentino?
yes.
Okay. We have several agents of the machine watching us from what I think is, I don't know my ship's sides. What's the back of the ship?
I know
Stern.
this. Oh,
The stern?
Yeah.
The stern.
I
Okay,
know.
from the stern.
I should know them in French because my dad does boating a lot, but I don't know them in French.
We're gonna have to tell your dad.
He'll say, my companions and I are going to attempt to take them or to destroy them before they have a chance to report what they're seeing. If any of your men can lend a hand, a firearm, or an arrow, I'll need them to do it soon and quiet and without. We're not going to use cannons on little dudes. There's 5 bugs. It would be greatly appreciated, and that we need to keep this under wraps so that they do not suspect anything yet.
He nods and he says, "I'll stay at the wheel. Ferdinand,
Alright.
go and warn the men. Tell them to get their crossbows and their arquebuses ready." And
Oh, they got arquebuses.
yeah. It's guns are available in this setting. They're just very expensive, so it's mostly nobles or well-equipped armies that have them already. But most armies don't have them. You think you hit the jackpot with this ship, but the problem is those drones are staying like really far away currently. They're stationary.
How far are they?
I'm gonna go and say about 300 meters away.
Oh, dang, that is very far. And they are behind us, so they're receding into the background?
No, they are to your. I never described really where they are to starboard. To the side of
I
the
know
ship.
that's one of the sides.
Yes.
One of them. All right. Well, If we turn towards them, they're going to escape. We're not going to be able to chase them on a boat. So,
Da, da, da. Okay, starboard is the right-hand side.
yes. So we're not going to be able to chase them and can't hit them. And let's see. Changing course now would make no difference. They would automatically assume we were on our way to Kirdan. So I think the information they've gathered is just so, and that's all we can do.
Okay. So we're going to end this game on a nice little cliffhanger. As you keep sailing on and preparing to see if you have any way of disposing of the flies, one of the crewmates yells from the front of the ship, and he calls for the captain to come over. And the captain goes there and exclaims that I don't believe it. Nobody should be able to do this except Abel, the savior. Like, Abel is the equivalent of Jesus in this setting. He was the person who launched the first crusade against supernatural creatures, and he did a couple of miracles. When you yourselves look in the same direction, you find a technocrat is walking on water. He's using his psychic powers basically to do this, but he's simply walking on water from very far in front of you, and the drones go to where he is, and from a very and from the distance that he's at right now, you're going to be in a lot of trouble during the next game, but we will do this next time, and
we will see what he does from over there.
Actually, maybe I might not have him pop up right away. I might have the drones attack first, because as Jeff mentioned, sometimes it's better to have a first wave of really easy enemies. But I think he might just launch them first hand and then attack simply to do things more simply. I hope everyone had fun today.
I had fun. Luca in this one was a little bit. He got stuck being the slower dude who doesn't have a ton of ranged options, but that is okay. He has shown in other times.
Hi everyone, and thank you for watching this video. If you want to be a part of this story, we are currently looking for more players and game masters to play new games in this setting and on this channel. If you want to contribute to the project, you can contact me through the links in the description. Finally, if you want to keep up with all of the adventures on this channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so you can get a notification each time we upload the next episode of this story. And it would be very nice of you to like and share the video to help this channel grow. Have a nice day, everyone.